Welcome, guys. Welcome. It's a ChatTactic version, or episode 20 of 2025. So, welcome to the show, to the big show. We're going to be talking about a lot of games which have come out in the last week or two, actually. And last week I didn't have time to actually do a ChatTactic because of Broken Arrow. It was Broken Arrow week last week. This is a monster of a game. It's a game that is extremely enjoyable to play. And it's one of these sort of games where it's mainly designed around multiplayer, but it has a very, very good, or it will have a very, very good aspect to do with, with playing single player as well. Not yet, though, not yet. So it's sort of, there's a few major issues which they will fix, but it's funny because I sort of thought that they'd patch fix in a few little things fairly quickly, but there's been a few days now, guys, which when they first released it, it was sort of like the patches were coming every day. But there's been a little bit of a delay. Hi, ZXM, how you going? And hi to anybody else that's joined us as well. So, thoroughly been enjoying myself playing with I've been thoroughly enjoying playing Broken Arrow. So I've only just woken up. It's going to be a little bit groggy, a little bit sort of my mind, sort of not quite in gear. I wanted to talk about a few other games which I've been playing this week. I sort of didn't want to just focus everything on Broken Arrow, even though that's the big one, I guess. There's been a lot of this has been an incredibly big launch, I guess, for Slytherin. Their sort of games are usually much more niche, and it's been interesting actually. I'll talk a little bit about the journey with Broken Arrow, because I really didn't think it was going to be my sort of game, but I've now really starting to really like it a lot. It's just it's sort of funny. Also, just little things come to mind about people who make comment about these games and sort of what they think of them and how things sort of work within what with what people expect as well. So I'll maybe talk a little bit about that, game comparisons, like certain games which I haven't played all that much, which I probably will now have a bit of a look at, like Regiments, for example, from Microprose. So there's a few different games like that I do want to have a look at. There's also other Slytherin games as well, which actually sort of would almost be competitors to what this game actually does go and do. So it's stuff like that. I might just get my this one around just slightly. Is that going to help me? Which side is that on there? That's okay. I'll just put the camera there. Yeah, so there's a lot going on with Broken Arrow. Also want to talk about Bellfortis, which has come out this week. And so let's just talk. Actually, sorry, just move it there. There we go. Just I've got on my green screen. It sort of picks up. It's very poor lighting in the room that I'm in, and so that's why my face goes bright red or bright green depending on what's on the screen. Which is sort of funny, but anyway, that's because the lighting in here is I'm rear lit rather than front lit, and the green screen is as well. So it makes it hard to green screen things out. Anyway, so we'll talk about Bellfortis as well, which I think is a game that looks like it should be a really good fit for people who do like the strategy games. I like the start of it, but I do get a bit. I sort of you end up sort of going a little bit away from where you actually are in the game, which I'll talk about as well. I mean, I did a live stream where I sort of covered the things that were frustrating me. I keep on thinking of little things that I think would help to improve the game. And so I did actually pass on my thoughts to the dev. He's a great guy, actually. He said he's got a list of 300 things that he wants to actually try to implement in the game. So we'll talk a bit about Bellfortis. Also, Nitrogen Amiga, and I might even start with that one and then just come back to the bigger one. Nitrogen Amiga is one that I did a video on as well, just sort of explaining what the game actually is. It's a game that's quite good fun, just as a beer and pretzels, very, very quick game that you can pick up and drop at any point in time. In fact, we might even play that at the start. I sort of was playing it again just yesterday, just for fun. And if you watch the video that I put out during the week, the one that I've now got, where I am now in the game is a bit more interesting. I sort of wish that I had have waited. I was trying to finish off a campaign mission, and I might just go in and explain it if you've. So I won't do a full summary of it, but it's a very, very interesting, almost sort of like a. It's got a lot of procedural elements, a lot more than what I had originally thought, to be honest, because of what you can then go and build. So let's just go across into a single player, and I'll just go and load in where I left it off yesterday. So I've only got the one sort of mission that I've been sort of playing. That is my last one in. Just got a couple of saves going. So you can sort of save and, you know, save scum, really, in the game. There is actually, I think when you start, there is an Iron Man mode, which I think would probably be the better way to go. That's my airship underneath there. Now, what do I need to do? I need to go to a place called Null Post, which is back over here. I might just quickly go back into here and just sort of see if there's any little missions we can pick up. Is there anything? We'll just go to the fixer. Yeah, there is. So I've got, these are like 2 skull missions and also a 3 skull mission in through here. So if I go across to a coordinated attack, seems like a big problem. So I'll go and grab that one. And so 2 danger level is about my level at this point in time. And we're going to get like a lot of marble rewards. So I'm just going to go and accept this. We'll just go and right click. There is actually also, I'm supposed to pick up recipes from somewhere. And I'm not sure where I'm supposed to do that. So I'll just go back out from there. I'll just go and check the general store as well. Just see if there's any actual recipes. We've got different parts for the for what we have. We've only got 276 marbles left at this point. I won't go through exactly how to play everything, but we're doing fairly well. Yeah, so there's nothing much in there. I'll just go back out. This is where we can pick up more crew members if we wanted to. Just got some rookies there, which we don't really want. Back out. And we'll just go down and play the mission. Now I've got a coordinated attack, hunt the machines. That must be down here, I'm guessing. I sort of know where some of these little things are. The game does still have problems. Like it really needs a map that's, like not just a mini map. Like it's quite frustrating trying to find things. So this is the coordinated attack. I'll just go in and sort of show how this one does work. So I'm going to deploy the mech. Oh, this will be easy, even though it's a 2. Got a whole pack on the move. They might be coordinating an attack. The city wants them dead sooner rather than later. So even though this is supposed to be a 2 aspect, it's not going to be difficult for us. So I'm going to go and hang on, mech and crew are not ready to fight, so I have to leave. Now the reason for that was I was just going to test this one out. If I go back into where my mech is actually overdone. So if I just go back into here, you'll sort of see that I've got 15 of 12 for my actual positioning on the mech. I need to bring this back. So I've got a few things, sniper shot, or this one here. I might actually move that one back out and just go and get the baboon shoulders for it, which will then, it's still one above. Yeah, I've got too many. Fire missile, reload. If I go there, I do actually have fire missile there, which is going to be a cheaper one. That gets me 9. So I've still got 3 extra that I can go and add in. So the shoulders. Actually, that works. So I can still bring in the shoulders. And what these do is that they give you different abilities across the for the 4 different people that you actually then end up having. Hi, Kat. How you going? So reload missile, for example, and the deploy coolant can only really be played by the engineer. But if I go back into the chest again, if I can get this one loaded in, which is another 5 spots, and I can't afford the spots at this stage, so I need to get the areas inside it, I need to go back in and get the heart. So you can see there, the heart is giving me 12. So we've got a serene orangutan heart through here, which I would like to maybe sort of once we get a few more points, just try to find one of the a different heart for the mech to get even more points. That way we can start to bring in some of the equipment that we've bought over time. So I'll now go in because now I am ready to go. So enemies are there. Mech status is fully operational. We can now begin. So I haven't tested that. Some of the things in the game it doesn't matter if you do things or not. I'll just play out one combat just so you can sort of see it. So all of the mech pieces at this stage are sort of around apes, but I think that you can get other different types. And so we're coming in against, now this is actually one of the problems with the game, I'm finding it really quite frustrating, is that when you've got two mechs that are exactly the same, actually they're both in the same area, which is sort of interesting. Now they're going to be doing a whole lot of different attacks. There's five, they're going to be doing 5 damage. I'm going to blast them with a missile, I think, straight away. So if I just go across, what I need to do is, I'll just explain this. The two of them are in the east, I'm in the south. If I go back in with the pilot's side of things, if I just go to the operator for a second. Yeah, I've only got scan. I do get the, I can track for 6 segments to the target. I'm not going to worry about doing that one. I haven't so that one's not really all that good. The engineer can only do deploy coolant or reload missile. The gunner can fire the missile straight away. And I'm sort of tempted to do that one now. So this is after 2 segments, deals 3 explosive damage in the target zone. So I might start off here. What I might do, they've only got one more turn. I might fire the missile no matter what. So let's just see what they get up to, and then we'll actually figure out what to do. So let's just go back to the engineer, and we'll just do a reload missile at the back end of this. So what are they going to do? It's just going to be a full-on attack all the way through. Now, there's a few things I can do here. If I go back into my pilots, I've got 3. Actually, it won't matter what. Like, they're not going to be moving. They're now done. So both of the rabbits are now done. If I use a missile, it's going to blow up and do 3 damage to into that one area. So I'm just going to go back to the pilots, go back to the gunner, go back to the orders, and just go to fire missile. But I can do that pretty much any old place. If I do it there, I'm then going to get it where it will then sort of land on this particular location here. So I'm going to fire the missile at, doesn't matter which one I select, but this gets annoying because there's no way to actually see exactly which one of these are the 2 that you're spotting in here. And this can be quite frustrating when you're trying to figure out which one of the ones are the same. So that is a negative. I should pass that on to the devs, but that's actually something that I'm finding extremely frustrating, like when I'm playing the game, because quite often you're going to end up with doubles of the same type of mechs that you're fighting. They're now done, so I've now still got 2 more. I've got a if I go back into my pilots, the operator can deploy smoke, and so I'm going to do this one. It'll do it for 3 segments. That will then protect the mech for 3 turns. So I'll go and do that one. So we're now deploying smoke across those 3, and then finally I've got the pilot. And the pilot, I'm just going to do a guard, which will also then just remove or help protect it for that one little area there. So that's everything. We can now just begin the resolution. So resolution will be that we pop the smoke, bang, out that goes. Next part, they'll shoot, but we then can avoid it in the smoke. They shoot again, avoid it in the smoke. We now go back and do a guard mode. They shoot again, but we still avoid it because we've still got the smoke going. Then we do another shoot, and we take 2 damage. We fire the missile. It takes 3 turns to get there. We reload the missile. The missile lands and does 3 damage to both of them. Alright, here we go. So now they'll sort of start again, where they have 1. Now that will be a reload that they're actually doing through there. And again, I just want to see, now I've got no more missiles left back over through here, so I'll just go back to pilots. You can see there we're down 21 of 23 hit points now, they're down to 2. So really it's just now a matter of, if they don't move, then that's going to be ideal. So let's just go back to the engineer. Engineer is the easiest one to sort of do, and we'll just deploy coolant. We've now got 3 of 12 heat, so just going to deploy the coolant. I'm going to do that at the back end hit there, and just see what else they then get up to. Okay, they're just going with more attacks, that's fine. So I can actually kill them off with that last missile now. So if I just go back across, and with the attack, it won't matter that much, but if I just deploy smoke again, that's going to protect us. That's how many they've got. That's why they've got 1 shot. they've got an infinite number of bullets. We've only got 3. We've got one shot with 3 bullets with what we actually have. But in this case, we'll just go back across the pilots and the operator, orders, deploy smokes. And I'll just go and do that at the start just to protect our mech. Then we've got pilots, orders. Really doesn't matter what we do here, so I'm just going to, I can just sort of skip. I can just guard again as well if I wanted to. So we guard it across those areas. Then pilots, and the mechs you fight against are all different as well. So we will actually now go and do actually I've got a sniper shot there as well if I did want to use it, but I've got the fire missile yet again. And it does again. They're both in the same locations. This is an easy one for us to finish off. All right, begin resolution. So we just go through the same foes again. Deploy the smokes, which will then give us the avoidance. They fire. We can then sort of avoid because of the smoke. Go into guard mode. Fire again. Reload bullets from their side, missile explosion, and they're both defeated. So that's sort of like the combat is surprisingly good, I've got to say. So Cat's saying why they all have a big forehead. That's just basically what they've got. I don't know. So it's sort of an anime style all the way through. We've almost got these guys leveled up actually, but it's a pretty cool little game. Once you've actually done a mission like that, you then have to go back for to get the points. So if we just go back across, and there's a few little things. The game is really geared for playing with a controller, and it's a bit clunky when we're playing with a mouse. To be honest, just a little bit. It's not terrible, but it's just not great. So just move back up. We then go and get our reward. So just go and get freed run. And so if I just go back and have another look, we've now got... oh, hang on, that should have... We did that mission, didn't we? Oh, hang on, we have to cut... We've got another one as well that we have to hunt down. I'll also just quickly go and do it, so I'll just go back out again. We haven't finished the mission. Hunt the machines. It's down there. I haven't done all of them yet. I've got a timer. You'll notice that it only goes when I'm actually moving. There's a lot of things that just is... So it doesn't have a... coordinated attack. Enemies here. This is a hard one, actually. This will be interesting. This will be actually really interesting. So they've got a whole pack on the move. Now, if I've got another one of those rabbits, but I've got one called a goblin. And the goblin is actually very, very difficult to fight. So if I go for it, yeah, I should still be okay, I think. So, but this will be a lot more complicated. So if we go and begin this particular fight, I'm just trying to think if I should be switching my my deck around a little bit on the actual mech itself, because I can rebuild different parts of the mech to sort of to make things sort of work. I'll just go in and play it though, and just sort of see what actually happens here. Yeah, with the animations, bang, bang, I'm in. So basically I can actually very quickly, just by clicking, go straight in. So if the animations are driving you nuts, other than the attack ones are important, but you can, if you don't want to have the setup ones, you can just go click, 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 and go straight through, which is good. Now these have got, this is actually a tricky one. The goblin is coming in and is going to most likely... Actually, the goblin's in the same spot that I'm in. So I would like to know what the goblin is going to do. So the goblin is very, very powerful. And you can see down through here that with the... I'm just trying to get the mouse again. Come on, there it is. So the rabbit has only got one more, but the goblin has got two more attacks. One of them will be an attack with a very, very powerful... it uses sort of like these... blades, which and he's going to have two attacks with the blades, and then so he has to be in the same area as I am. Now we happen to start off in the same zone, so I need to definitely move away. If I stay in this zone, I'm in a lot of trouble. So what I need to do is I need to find out what he is going to do. If he has a movement, like if he attacks quickly at the start, I need to sort of delay him for a couple of turns and then find out where he's going to go. So if I go back to my pilots, I'm going to go to the engineer, and I'm going to use the sniper gun in this sense, where I've got the orders sniper shot. This one deals 9 range damage to the target if the target is not in your zone. Otherwise, it's half. In this point, what I want to be doing is I want to be actually firing at the. I want to be firing at the goblin. The rabbit's going to always get 2 attacks in, unfortunately, so we're going to be suffering a little bit of damage there because I now have to deal with the goblin. The goblins are very, very difficult to deal with, but I need to find out what it's going to do. So I'm just going to go back into deploy coolant at the back end there, and they're now thinking. Now it's now we're going to attack there and attack there. We're going to attack in the same position that we're in, plus then a movement. So what I'll do is I'll do a scan because what I need to find is where it's moving to. So I'm now going to go to the operator, which is sort of like this is like in the core. So I can deploy the smokes to help protect against this attack. The smoke won't do anything against a melee attack. So I'm going to if I go and do the scan, I'm going to do a scan which does so reveals all orders played in this segment as well as the next segment. So if I do it for the attack, we can then see information about the attack, but I also get information on the movement. The move is mainly what we then want to be doing. So what we end up having is it's going to do a slash attack, then it's going to move to wherever I am, and then it's going to attack it a second time. So if I want to use the sniper shot, do I take the damage here, which is going to, if I go back into inspect, I can then sort of get more information. So if I hover over what's going to happen through here, there's an initiative aspect as well, and so the slash is going to do 3 melee damage to my guy, and then the other shot from the other guy is going to do 2 damage. Now I could get rid of the other guy with a shot right at the very, very start because I can use my sniper rifle to finish him off. And that's going to save 4 damage coming into me. If I move before that one goes in, so if I move there, if I move there away, he's going to miss with this one. Then he's going to follow me and get that one in there. So he's always going to get at least 3 damage coming in. So I might as well shoot the other guy and get that one out of the way at that point through there in that phase. So let's go and have a look. So if I just go back across the pilots, I'm going to go to the gunner. I'm going to go to orders. We're going to fire the sniper shot this time. And so we're going to do that initially in phase 1, and we're going to go after the rabbit. I can go and choose between the two, but I'll go rabbit, which is in a different area than I am, so I'm going to do enough damage to kill this one off. So sniper shot, done. So then they're all finished now with their moves, so I can then, once they move to me, the interesting thing with this one is, see how it's initiative of 3? If my initiative is the same as their initiative, it ends up essentially being I get to move first. So I need to move there at that point. So I'm just going to go back across to the driver and go to orders. And I'm going to move to zone. I don't have a move to unit at this stage. Like I can get them, but I actually don't have anything in here. So I'm just going to go and move. And I'll move across to the east for no great reason. And now I can start to I can play tricks with them a little bit after I do this, because it will start to follow me around. So I'm going to go to the east and through here, and I'm going to do it at that zone. I almost did the wrong thing there. I need to do it there. See how I've got the same initiative, the 3 initiative, and they've got 3 initiative for their move. It means I will move first, then they will follow me. If I do it from here, then they don't get to follow me. And so now we've got the resolution. So the sniper shot should take out their rabbit. The scan won't do anything. They'll shoot. Well, the shoot won't happen because we'll have that one killed. The slash will happen, and then they move then to exactly in the same position. We then move after that, and then deploy coolant. The attack won't do anything. That's sort of what's going to happen here. So this animation, I would like to be able to pause this. There we go. Sniper shot defeated. It only had 5 hit points. We did 9. So it did 3 damage. It does another slash, but it failed. And so things happen pretty quickly. enemy turn. It's doing a movement there, which is actually interesting. So it's going to do 2 more. Now, it's most likely going to follow me into here. And the interesting thing about this will be we're going to be able to find out what that's doing by scanning that mode in there as well. I can always just go back in and inspect as well to see what actually happened in the previous round, to see exactly. So the sniper shot essentially killed off the rabbit, and at that point in this one through here we then have the scan. They did the slash. Now the shooting that was deals 2 range. That's not going to do anything. Yeah, so it just tells us essentially what not what happened, but essentially what the planning was. It probably really should tell you exactly what did happen as well. Anyway, back into here. So we can scan there to find out what's going on. So we'll just go to pilots and go to orders. Now I don't have any more sniper shots left in here just yet. So I'm just going to go across into the operator, orders, and then scan. And we'll scan here. So it's going to move to exactly. Sometimes they move to a different location, and then you accidentally move there as well. So I'd like to know where they are. So they're going to get 1 slash in at least. So we'll go in and we'll just jump away from it now. So we'll go and do another pilot. I do actually have 1 missile here, which I will get it down a little bit. If I can then get the shot in, I'm going to have to delay for a couple of turns here. So if we go to the pilot, I'm going to jump. Now they've got an initiative of 4. We're going to have 3, so they're going to get the slash in. Because of their move, they're going to get the slash in there as well anyway. So what I'll do is I will actually fire the gun. So I can do that one here, the gunner, and then fire the missile at that point at the goblin. So, and I'll have jumped away in the turn before that. And then we've got the pilots, so they've got another slash there. So all I've got to do is just move somewhere else on that particular move. So just go back to the pilots, order, and then I can just do a move to zone. Now, if I didn't do the scan and I wasn't sure, the safest way to do this is to move back to their zone, because typically they'll move away from their zone. So you could actually move to the south and just literally go wherever they were. If you do need, sometimes the operator can do more powerful things than this. So I'm going to move to the zone. In this case, I'm still going to take the damage from there. It doesn't matter where I move to. I'll just move to the west. So I'll just go into that one through there. Because we know exactly where they're going. Now, after the missile has been fired, I've still got 1 more left over, so I will actually just go back into my pilots and go back to orders and just reload the missile. All right, let's have a quick look at the resolution. So it comes charging in. It then does a slash for 3 damage. Our guys can take damage as well, like the actual drivers and things, which can then have a big bearing on the game. It missed with the last slash, which is important. So we're down to 17. Now we've only done 3 damage to it. We should have. Sometimes they can avoid it. Now it's down to 8. All I need is a sniper shot. That's all I need, but I don't have any bullets left. I've still got 1 of these lined up, so I do need to go back and reload. Now, in reality, I've got nothing that the gunner can do, so I'm going to use the reload at the back to see what we have to do. So if I just go back into pilots, go back to gunner, and so I'm trying to waste turns to see where it's going to move to. Now I know that it's going to move from the east, so even if I have to go back there, that will still be okay. Let's just go back to gunner, orders. In this case, we're going to reload bullets. We're going to do that at the very, very end. It's going to do movement there. That's interesting. So again, I could watch to see where it does go. If I just go back across into well, essentially what I could always now just go and do is literally go from here and jump across to the east. But let's just see if the orders do change. So if I go back to the orders in through here, we do actually have track. Applies track for 6 segments to the target. I might even do that actually at the back end here. So if I go track and track this one, I haven't actually used this one, but if I go and do it there, it's then going to track that target for 6 turns. Let's just see what happens. And it is doing an attack there. So I can actually jump now away from there. I'll jump to the east and move away from it. So move to zone. And in this case, we're going to move to the east. That way the attacks will both miss. And then the last one that we have is just the engineer. And with the engineer, with that orders, the reload missile, there's no reloads left, so I'm just going to go back to the coolant. And we need to get a sniper shot on this guy. Okay, begin the resolution for round 3. It's pretty cool, actually, the way it does work. It's failed. We deploy coolant. We now do the tracking. I haven't tried tracking before, so I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work. Yeah, so we've got the tracking there. Now that's... I'm not sure what the tracking does. We've got 2 more. That's the movement there, but we're not seeing what it actually is. I thought that may tell me what it's going to do over the course of the game. So yeah, it might be for other sorts of weaponry. I'm just not sure of it. Now, we've got that one through there. This is a kill. All I need to do is just go back to my gunner and go back to orders, sniper shot, and just do it at the start there. So I can just sniper shot that one through there. It's got an attacks back and through this other side. Just in case it can avoid it, I will have another look. So I'll just go back to the pilots, just go back to the operator, orders, scan. Move to target again, so it's going to move to the east. Again, 2 attacks at the back end there. Pilot, orders, move to zone. Actually, what I could do, just in case it does come out, I'll just go back into... I can do a charged punch where it deals 7 melee damage. And this will actually do the attack before theirs. So it's not an ideal one, but deals 7 melee damage in the target in the next segment. So I can go back to this one here and do the punch there, which will then sort of give me an attack before theirs. It won't kill them off because it only does 7 damage, but just for the fun of it, I'll just sort of show you the different sort. And these are all depending on what we actually have on our mech. Then finally we just have the orders here just to deploy the coolant. All right, begin the resolution. So this should kill it off anyway. Here we go, defeated. Victory! It's actually it's really fast paced. It's and it's quite strategic. Not quite getting to the end there of getting the next skill level. We're so close. We're so close. That should be the end of it, I think. Yeah, return to free run. So I'll just return and just get the reward. This is on board, which seems a bit sort of quiche, but there's a thing where the characters will actually then get sort of relationships with each other. So these two have become close friends. This actually is really important. So there's a whole lot of stuff. I won't go through that. My video that I put out sort of goes through how to manage all that, which is, as I said before, is really actually quite an important thing. Just go back into here, go back to Freed Run and visit. We then get our marbles, which I can then go and spend. And I don't think there was anything. If I just go to the general store and just go to parts, there was no heart in any of these. So I didn't get anything special from any of those different things. But anyway, that's sort of, I won't keep on playing it, but that's the, it's a pretty cool little game, I've got to say. It's just as a fun game to waste time in, which is what I've been doing, which I have actually enjoyed. So sorry, I've missed so many of the comments in through here. So Thor is saying, cool concept, awful presentation. I don't like the kiddie manga style, but that's just me. I was off put by that at the start, and I really wasn't going to. I wasn't going to take the game on to have a look at it. I just thought, it's not my type of game. But then I started looking at what people were saying about it, and then I thought, look, I'll give it a go. Like, it looks fairly strategic. It is actually deeply strategic. If you make one wrong move, it can really hurt you. So it's actually an extremely strategic game. Like, it's actually not a kid's game. It's sort of, it's very, very cool the way it sort of does work. So anyway, that's That's Nitrogen Omega, which is it does actually. What's the rating? Let's just go back and have another look at it. So if we go into Nitrogen Omega, back into here, very positive. So what does it rate? 90%. So that was sort of why I was thinking, yeah, look, that's like people are obviously enjoying playing it, and the game mechanics are good. I think that 90% is over what I think at this stage that it is. There's too many little things that need to be fixed in the game at this stage, but it's only just come out. So it's only come out this week. So it's sort of like a new release. Is it early access? Yeah, it's still early access. So there's going to be a lot of changes. There's certainly, the devs are aware of the different problems that are coming up. People are reporting it, and they're making commitments to make changes to the game to sort of to fix it up, which is great. So as I say, I'm sort of enjoying. I've been enjoying this one a lot. Hi Tenru, how you going? How repetitive do the animations become? They do become repetitive a lot. Like not so much in the combat, because the combat is really important. And my initial thing was I wish I could slow the combat down to see what's going on. I would like to be able to pause the combat, but just to be able to go through each phase. And so the combat doesn't bother me at all. The moving into position, you just click and you're through them. There probably should be a setting to not have those animations. Even these little animations we're seeing on the screen, where the crew members are doing things, like for example they do yoga, or they have boxing matches, or they play computer games, things like that. I actually assumed that was going to be like mini games that were going to do my head in. I thought, this is the last thing I want to be mucking around with in a game like this. I just want to be doing the battles, but they literally last as long as what we just saw there, like 2 seconds or something like that, just to sort of and then you get the benefit of whatever the action was that they did. So I find the balance of the animations quite good, to be honest. It's not something that I know what you guys are sort of saying. The animations I think will put some people off. Other people will enjoy them, and they do. The characters you have are like they're procedurally generated characters, so they all look different. You can sort of see they have the same actions, like they're 3D but in a 2D style. And so when you build your crew, you actually have they have their own skill sets, they have their own likes and dislikes with each other. Depending on that, they'll actually then sort of work better or worse with each other. But I think it's actually got a lot of promise, this game. It's certainly difficult, or it can be. Some of the battles can be really, really quite difficult, and they are procedurally generated to a large degree. So yeah, for me, there's a lot of things to like. The overmap is not procedurally generated, but there's no way to also see the overmap. One thing that helped me enormously, if you do grab the game, is if I just go into the community hub. And this actually saved me yesterday, because I was thinking I just cannot find where to go next. Like it was actually doing my head in. But in the guides, there is actually an ugly map, which until the devs actually put a map in the game, and really it should be there. But until that, this then tells you what to do essentially. So I was all over here in Five Skull Land, where you can't actually do any fights with your early mechs. You need to build up for that. So where we were was Freed Run, which was a 2 or 3 skull, which is what we saw there. We just did a 2 skull attack. 1 or 2 is essentially down through here, which is sort of like where you should be starting. So you've got the different zones on the big map where you can then sort of go and play. So we were just literally doing a mission between Freed Run, and that was really all we were actually looking at that point in time. So the next thing for me in the game will be to then move into this area and start to do these missions before I then sort of move off into the 4 or 5 skulls, or down through here at Null Post. So there's a few different areas back in the game. So the idea is to build your mech up slowly over time. So hi Sorbacol, how you going? And Beaches, saying turned 30 today, and I took the day off. Then saw your live streaming, felt like popping in. Oh, happy birthday! That's awesome. So that's a big one, 30. That's got a 0 on the end of it. That's fantastic. Well, happy birthday. So I hope you have a great day. Brian is saying, Dads, if you look into Tempest Rising, it has good reviews, but I haven't played it. God, the name rings a bell, but I can't think of what it actually is. Let's have a quick look and see. Before we go into some of the other games that I've been playing, so I'll just go back to the store page. But that little map was a bit of a godsend for me. It allowed me to find where I was supposed to go next. Without it, I really had no idea. Tempest Rising. I know the name. Tempest Rising. Command distinct faction that is in a desperate struggle for power and resources. Classic RTS on Earth after a nuclear. Look, to be honest, when I see these sort of stuff, I avoid them. to be perfectly honest, 85%, 88%. I find that these just become a click fest, and this is actually like, if we have a look at the sorts of games that these are, if it has an active pause, then yes, I would look at it. But if it doesn't, and a lot of them don't, it's sort of, I wish that they would actually say if it does. It's masterful air, yeah, blah, blah, blah. That's just a bit of gumph. But without active pause, it's a hard no from me. Each faction, yeah, 2 epic skirmish custom games. Yeah, that's actually good. But it doesn't say active pause. Will you be finishing your Gal Civ 4 series? Yes, I almost played it yesterday, actually. I was, and then I thought, look, I've got all these new games that are coming out. So I played Bellfortis yesterday, and we'll talk about Bellfortis as well. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. But that was, so there was, I thought, look, I'll probably play Gal Civ tomorrow. That's actually sort of the idea that I want to be doing. Yeah, Command & Conquer, I never enjoyed Command & Conquer. Like, it never, ever did, even when I had fast reflexes. It was just one of those things where I don't look at at the map overall, and it's because of the lack of active pause. I don't know what this is all about. I just no idea what's going on there. Anyway, so if we go back into discussions, this is what I tend to do when I see these games, is go into here, then do a thing for pause, because someone will have asked the question, hopefully. You're going to find it for me? Why do developers keep on making the same mistake? Yeah, that's a hard no for me, seeing that. Without pause, yeah. I want tactical pause. Here we go. It blows my mind. It actually blows my mind that games come out without a tactical pause. So I'm not even slightly interested in that game because of that. Like, it's unless there's something where they do add it in. It's just crazy that they do this. Another game that does this, and look, there's 37 pages of that, where people are basically talking about it. Yeah, like, why is there such a big debate? Haters of active pause, just ignore it and don't use it. It's like some random guy harassing you. Yeah, because of what you ordered. That's exactly what it is. Like, this is where games are designed a certain way. So devs create their game. They know that if people use active pause, they're going to be able to have time to think and actually then act, and so they'll do better with an active pause than without. But it's, for a lot of us, like, we don't get enjoyment from the game without it. So Tenor is saying it has no pause function unless you press escape for the option. Yeah, which you still can't actually then give orders. So for me, that's an absolute hard no. I'm not interested even slightly without active pause. So Tempest Rising is gone in my books. But it blows my mind away that devs make this mistake over and over and over again, where they force you not to have it. And this is where I was so happy that Broken Arrow didn't do that, because it had every reason to do it. Tempest Rising, I'm assuming that's going to be multiplayer, or is it multiplayer? Just go back out again. Yeah, online player versus player. Yeah, so, and quite often games that specialise in multiplayer don't have it. I can understand it not being in multiplayer, but there's no excuse not in single player. Another game that doesn't have it, which I am struggling with a little bit, is, but I enjoy the game just because I play it on the Slytherin channel a little bit, is Starship Troopers. That really needs it as well. That's another game that doesn't have it, which I do play, but I find it hard because I have to I have to work around the lack of active pause in that game, and I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy. I much enjoy games that I can actually pause the action, and actually, well, particularly for recording, because I like to be able to explain what's going on, and without it, it's just and Broken Arrow is the same in multiplayer. It's hard because the guys that are streaming the multiplayer can't explain what they're doing because it's so frantic during the multiplayer side of things. Like I'll bring up Broken Arrow, because this is Broken Arrow is is really going to be a massive game. And they're making the changes that need to be made. I did a pretty long video on my thoughts on the game, and I really like it because they do actually have active pause in the game. So where have I got it there? Not sure why I've had so many versions of it on this computer. Like I was actually I was beta testing it, but I like with my beta testing side of things, I think at one stage I didn't have active pause, so I only played it for like about 5 minutes, and then thought, no, it's not for me. But then I'm glad I persisted with it, because now the single player does have active pause. But the big problem with Broken Arrow is it doesn't have an actual game save for single player, which is a massive mistake. So, but it will have it. Like they're going to be bringing that in. But I really like what this game does. This game is incredibly good. Z-Driver saying I'm the same way. If it doesn't have an active pause, I tend to look past it. Well, it's pretty much a hard no from me. Without it, it's like not even slightly interested. And so Tempest Rising, I have heard of the name, but I'm never ever going to pick it up without active pause. And it's funny because like now that whenever I search for it, even if they put it in, it won't show up because there's so many people, 37 pages of people saying I want active pause and or tactical pause, and it's just I don't know why devs do it. They force the way that they have designed the game to be played on people who have bought the game and want to play it their way. And I really do side on the side of people should be able to play the game that they want to. Like it's like, for example, if you play a game in Iron Man mode, like if they had a similar sort of thing of play the game like single player. Or play it in single player Iron Man mode where you don't get the active pause and you get other things as well. Like do that. Like just have an option to turn it off. Things like that. I just don't get it. I really don't get why they do it. It's I have actually, even with Starship Troopers, which is an amazingly well-made game, which again rates very, very highly. People actually really love it. But without the active pause, like I did pass it on, but that's actually a design. The devs designed it that way, and that's it. They're not going to change their mind about it. And so many of these games just will not relent. So I'm really thankful that a game like Broken Arrow, which has every reason not to have it, because it is at its heart a multiplayer game. That's really where it shines. If you have a look online, you'll sort of find that there's even right now there's 13,000 people in battle right now. And I would think that I don't know if it would be interesting to know how many of these are playing single player and how many are playing multiplayer. But at the moment, single player doesn't have any save function. You have to complete a mission to be able to then move forward. So I haven't been playing the campaign at all. Like I've been playing it just very, very lightly. The thing I like to play is the scenarios. The skirmish will be good, I think, eventually, but not yet. This is actually where you can battle against AI opponents, but it's not really designed for single player, and it also doesn't have the active pause. So that definitely needs to have that. But the scenarios I'm really enjoying a lot. These are quite. There's only 4 here, but if I go back to the Steam Workshop, last time I looked, which was a day or so ago, I don't know if there's going to be more and more of these coming back in. But if we have a look at there we go. We're getting a few different things in through here, which is actually pretty cool. So we're getting some ratings now coming through. How many have we got? Wow, this is incredible. Like it's gone from the first day I started playing it, there were 6 maps that people had made for the game. Then there was so this is the mode that I like to play. So Then like 2 days ago there was 206 or thereabouts, and now there's 440 odd, which is awesome. And we are now starting to sort of see there's a firing range, all vehicles in the game for your experiments and videos. Main combat vehicles are ranged according to distant marks, moving target. Wow, this is good stuff. This is sort of like this is the sort of things that like if I go and subscribe to that. Actually, can I do it here? No, yeah, I am. Yes, this is my my Steam library. So if I just go and subscribe, I'll throw that one in, and I'll just go back out again as well, and we'll pick up one of the others as well. This is test your deck. I'm not sure what this one does. Yeah, a lot of Cyrillic or Russian things in there. A lot of subscribers getting these as well. So this is test your deck. Yeah, actually, I'll subscribe to that as well. I'll just get a couple of these in and just sort of see what they do. And I'll get one of the actual missions. So this is a 5 versus 1 with AI. So this is single player. There's a conquest mode map. You and your AI ally will fight against AI enemies. The battle will focus on one main... Who did that one? That's interesting. This is actually... this looks sort of ideal, really. It's a conquest mode map. Yeah, that looks interesting as well. I'll subscribe to that. I'm now just getting excited about what I'm seeing here because I'm sort of interested to see where these are going to rock up. But let's go also to Bellfortis defense, which has actually been there for a little bit of time, where a lot of there's 8,000 subscribers in through here. This one's been sort of like the go-to map, I think, for people to sort of see what the game is like. So it's got like a lot of ratings, which is great. Let's just subscribe to that as well. Now they'll be using the base map that they actually have will be from the game itself. Let's just go back to the game, and I will actually just go back and refresh. Is it going to know what to do? Yeah, there it goes. So it's actually brought all of these in, which is interesting. So this is if you are trying to learn how to play like if I go into this one through here, this is a 5 versus 5 with AI. So this is a conquest mode map. You and your AI ally will fight against AI enemies. So you can then sort of bring in what you actually end up having. The battle groups are incredibly interesting in this particular game. I'll put it just on easy for now, and we'll have a bit of a look and see what does go on. So this is going into the Baltic Peninsula with what's going on. There's 19 different maps, by the way, in the game. So if I just go and play the scenario, I'm not sure how this is going to then sort of work. This is going to be most likely like a single player version of the multiplayer, which is actually interesting in itself. So the deck building is really, really interesting. Hi Battle Mode, how you going? Alright, so now pause. So this is and again there's some issues here, like spacebar is not used in the game, and you can't actually put it on as a pause. So we're starting here at this location. Looks like we've got this looks very interesting actually. Yeah, so we're going to start there and then move our way in. I'm not seeing the spawn locations unless these are them. Sure, as we spawn from here. Yeah, spawn point for helicopters. We do have a spawn point over here as well. So spawn point for ground units. There goes our ally now, just sort of moving off. So we've got allies moving in. We've got a spawn point there for aircraft. They're going to come in from that angle. And so in this case, we've then got to take this particular city. So we need to then sort of take the city block. We're going to have another city block in through here, another one down this way. Let's heli drop in some. I'll just show you sort of how the way it works. So if we go across, we've got all 10,000 points to spend. That's a bit over. That's a bit too wild, personally. But anyway, if we just go across to air and or helicopter, sorry, and we'll just go and grab a like in this particular mix, I've got these Silent Hawks, which allow me to sort of put like 12 people on board. So if I grab a Silent Hawk, I've then got Punishers, so I've got I can bring those in. I'll bring some Rangers in. That's 4 and 9. That's going to be too many. That's 3. This is Snipers, and Delta Force is a full 12. That's a 6. Let's go that way, and just so with that one, we'll drop that across into here. It's a great game. And being able to have the tactical pause on is really, really cool. And so we'll go Delta Force. I've only got a couple of Delta Forces. I'll just move that one across as well. And you can see we're sort of chomping through the points here a little bit, but that's fine. I've got a heap of these, so I'll just go and grab another Delta Force in that location. I'm going to let the AI grab this one, and we'll grab this one here. So you can see that they've got like spawn points for their aircraft. I'll get another of the. So this is actually this is a meeting versus meeting map. If we just go back into the helicopter, I wish that this was down low, to be honest. Just that would be pretty better, I would think. So I'm going to leave one Delta Force in case I need it. So I'll bring Snipers in. There's only got 3 members in it, and the Cavalry Scouts. These actually come from the armour that we've got. Rangers 9. I haven't got any Rangers in yet, and Rangers are my most basic unit, so I'll throw that one in there. Helicopter, and we'll just get Rangers. All right, that'll do for those. What I'll do is I'll also pop up an aircraft. So I'll just go. I've got F-35s, and so these are the best sort of aircraft. I'm just going to go and position them sort of at the back, and just to guard what's happening in around what we're doing. And I won't bother with anything else. Let's just leave it there. We've still got 8,600 points left. Unpause the game. Helicopters will spawn from here. So as they spawn in, I'm just going to give them loading orders to. So if I go to U, they can unload into here. That's the first one. Second one. Yeah, that's it. They're doing paradrops as well. The actual our good friend. So they're going to drop. Yeah, they're dropping their guys are going in with paradrops. Ours are coming in with. If that's the case, let's go and move some of them up into this sort of no man's land. Into there, and we have this one as well. Now, the game is frantic unless you really slow it down. So we've now got. So this is now going at quarter speed. And because I can now got active pause, let's just go and do that. So if we, so they're now firing at the guys on the ground. So they're actually now taking this is a Stinger team. They're firing back at the helicopters. This one is almost down. It's actually now popping the, I love the look of this. I won't play for very long, but this is, it's just an incredible looking game. Like it's amazingly well done. The detail and the and being able to pause and really look what's going on here is ideal. Now the Silent Hawks, I want them back home, so I'm just going to go and as they drop off their team members, back you go, guys, back you go. So you need to get out of there, back to base. Now the that's a drone that our friend is actually now playing. We've got we've got another helicopter back that way. Let's just go and let's go and fire. Let's now just go and take the aircraft across this other side. That one's still coming in to land. They've actually also dropped into this area. This is really good. This is really cool what they've actually done here. There's more allies now moving off. They've captured that zone. So this is very much like a multiplayer game but able to pause it. I love this. Like they've done. This is awesome that the community is putting these sorts of things together. So I don't have any real anti-air force in through this other side, so I'm just going to have to wait. So we will just unpause again. Stinger missiles going up. Move this one across. So taken that location as well. They've taken that location. But it's, yeah, so they're the helicopters, all their helicopters are really sort of just going a bit crazy here. Some of them have taken a bit of damage. There we go, we've got more stingers and things going up against these helicopters, doing a little bit of damage there. Bring them back as well, unload back this way. Go back home, and the Rangers here are taking too much of a beating. Buildings, them into buildings as well. But it's a really cool game. Like it's very, very detailed the way it sort of does work. And I just love that you've got the active pause in it. You know, like this is an awesome like map in terms of just getting used to the frantic play of multiplayer. If you are wanting to teach yourself, that's actually very, very cool. Anyway, that's Broken Arrow. Oh, our pilot got smashed, so he's now dropping at this point in time. So if we have a bit of a look, he'll be there there somewhere doing something. I'm not sure how he got destroyed, but there's like the enemy will have all of their different bits and pieces as well. Anyway, that's Broken Arrow. I'll exit. Let's go back to the main menu again and confirm. But the fact that that's got active pause, you know, like that makes single player in this game immensely enjoyable. But it does need the pause, the save for it, and a few other things as well. There's about 3 things that really need to be fixed to make it sort of much more enjoyable as a single player game. Just read a few of the comments here. Oh, one of the things as well, like it's not that important, but whatever your time zone is, like I'm playing in the middle of the night, and so it actually plays with that on the map. So the map has got different timing. You can go across and then change that. Where is it? The gameplay. Yeah, units, animations, and hangar is and that's the ambience. This is clock dependent. So depending on your own clock, it basically just changes the environment, because you can play, all the maps can be played at different times of the day. They're not just hard set. So you can actually override. You know, like if I wanted to have like a morning, you know, I can just go and do that one and just go and apply and go back out, escape. There we are. It's now morning, early morning. So you can sort of change the lighting of when you start to sort of go and build anything. Like if I go to the Arsenal, same sort of dealing through here. If I go to my army builder, it's a very, very cool game. The whole concept is really awesome. I guess for me, like from a realism perspective, the forces get destroyed very, very easily, and that's not usually the way it sort of works in reality. So other games that I guess more realistic don't have anywhere near the attrition rate of this particular game. This game has got this is really it's a tactical game, it's not a realistic type sort of game. So if you're wanting more realism, I still think Combat Mission is a better choice for more realistic sort of style of way things actually do work, where it's harder to sort of kill units off. It's except for vehicles. The vehicles actually do suffer a lot with Combat Mission, but I really enjoy Combat Mission as well. But this has got much more polish in the overall look of it. Games also like Armour Brigade 2 have got a different focus, but they're also much, much more realistic. So I might even show that actually. This is going to be a fairly longish session, I think, today. So Justin Kipper is saying, how similar is this game to Steel Division 2? I didn't care for that one. It was just constant clicking on units from a zoomed out perspective. That's the multiplayer in this game. The multiplayer, you never get to have a good look at everything. I'm loving it though, because I can pause it. I can zoom in on everything that's going on and actually have a really close look, but not to the same degree as Combat Mission. Combat Mission, you can actually zoom in and line the actual guns up, you know, like, and actually see what they're firing at. This one, this one is not designed for that close a look at things, but Combat Mission is much, much more detailed in its sort of in the way that you actually then because it is a turn-based game, so it's designed to be looked at that way. Whereas this game is more designed to be played multiplayer. I'm surprised at the degree of detail in this game, to be honest, when you do actually get into it, because of the just because for multiplayer there's no reason that they went to the degree that they did. Like even those helicopters we were just looking at, they look fantastic. And even when they take damage or when things blow up and stuff like that, if you're zoomed in, it looks incredible. But in multiplayer, you don't have time to do that. So yes, you are right. That's sort of it is one of those sort of troubles in through there. So yeah, Justin, I don't know about Steel Division 2. I didn't ever play that one. But yes, in this case, single player, you won't be zoomed out, but or you don't have to be zoomed out. But multiplayer, you will be zoomed out all the time and just relying on the icons. Okay, so Thorn Element saying, does it have realistic engagement ranges and line of sights? Yes, it does. And I didn't show that actually. I'm going to cancel quitting. I'll show you that as well, and I'll play a different one of those scenarios. If we go to Bellfortis Defense, I've no idea what this one actually is. This one here, you can you choose? Oh, it's mission deck. You've got to choose this. Now I'll go to one of the other ones. If I go to the this is Baltisk Invasion back in through here, which is sort of like within the game. And so I've got like you've got different battle groups. This is actually unbelievably good. And so the game comes with It comes with the US default deck. And if I hover over that one, it's going to show me that this is US Marine Corps and armor. Now I've actually made my own US Marine and armor. Actually, have I done that one? No, this is what is that one? That's cavalry. So this is Marine Corps and cavalry is what they've actually gone with in here. And so each deck has got its own positives and negatives, and so you're sort of trying to round things out by the point system. There's 5,000 points can be applied from each deck, each specialization that you end up having, but you need to have two of them. So the US default deck is cavalry and Marine Corps. The my first US deck, which comes with the game, which is not really, you'll see it says this battle group is incomplete. They haven't used up all of their points. They've only used up 8,600 of that particular one. So this is not complete. You can still play with it, but this one here is armor and Marine Corps, which is sort of like I've been playing with that a little bit, which is not too bad. Then I've just been sort of building my own. That's also a Marine Corps and armor. I've got Marine Corps and Special Forces, which is BG1. Actually, no, this is Rangers. I think this is armor and Rangers, and then I've got the one that it's sort of coming up at the top there is armor and Spec Ops. Essentially, is the one that gives you the stealth helicopters and stuff like that. So each of them plays extremely differently. Like it really is. It's incredible the difference that the deck building makes. And so you design your own decks, design your own units. Some units will have there's always going to be a weakness with your deck, which can be hard. And so, for example, this BG2 that I got with armor and Marine Corps, I don't have any real good artillery in this, which makes it very difficult to not have line of sight to actually fire. I've got to get close with the mortar units that I've got to be able to then fire over the top of things to actually then do damage remotely. Whereas if you've got artillery, you've actually going to have a lot, proper artillery, you're going to have a much broader range. So the range actually has a big bearing. If I go in and play this game with, I'll go in with Spec Ops again, and so I just go that way with the actual battle group. So I've designed most of these myself just for fun. I'll go in and, so this one here is an invasion. If I just go and play the scenario, just to show you the differences. So the engagement ranges and line of sight, this is a big part of playing the game, particularly in single player where you've got the active pause. You're sort of planning what you're going to do. And so in this case, if I just quickly pause again, because the game starts off running, you can see down through here, we've got a secure checkpoint alpha. There'll be a second one as well. And so in this case, actually one of the things I've found, because I've played this map a lot, and so I sort of know now what I like to do with these. What I want to have is if I go and press the Alt key, this is my line of sight. So if I'm on this side of this island, I don't really get to see much. There's a little gap in the middle there where I see a little bit, but once I'm in the tree line, I actually get to see across the other side fairly well. so I can sort of get good vision from that tree line. And so this allows you to plan very effectively how you want to then sort of have your forces operating. So I can actually move forces back to protect them, back away from that zone, because the enemy will control that zone. But even sort of like, finding other, if I blunder in, I'm going to be absolutely smashed because there's going to be enemy all over the place in here. But if I move, for example, over to here, I know that there's no enemy here, and so I can actually move in and I can drop into the middle of, you can't actually drop into forest. I have to drop into a clearing, but I could actually use some of my ranger forces to actually move into here, for example. I could use like long range units from here to then take out targets that are in this other side. I'll just show you sort of what I mean like with this. So if I go and so I'll just do a bit of a explanation, because this is the big game that's come out this week. You can see I start off by default. It's usually just 1,000 points. The plus 300 is points per minute, which is, and this is done, like the designer of the map will sort of do it. I wish that there was different settings for that, to be honest, in game as well, like where you could actually sort of diminish the rate that you and the AI get things, or even actually have it turned off. So if you had the 10,000 points, that's all you get to spend the whole game. So that means that if you bring forces out and then you start to take attrition, that's the end of you. You basically end up losing. I would prefer that also, like just different modes of play. Who knows, maybe in the future. You can see that the border of this one, we're only playing in a very, very small area of this big map. So there's more outside the map area, but we'll need to sort of just go and focus on that one. Now, I've got a few different things that I have in this one. I've got a ship. This is the Ashley Burke, which has Tomahawk missiles. And so there is actually sort of like a range that these can then sort of be fired. If I go and grab this guy and just say, okay, I'm going to do a fire mission using the Tomahawks, it can then actually go and start. You can see there the range, so it's like 2 kilometers, 2.5 kilometers away. So I can go and do these. I do have different modes of firing as well, but I can actually pretty much hit most things like that's 4 kilometers. These are going to have like a very, very long range. If I'm unsure about what those range, this is now too close for us to be able to use those ranges. And this one does fire over the top, so I can actually make good use of that one. I've got 32 of these, and if I go and click on the Ashley Burke and through here, I can then go to the Tomahawks and click on those to see, they can go up to 10 kilometers. They do a lot of damage, etc. So I'm getting all of the detail there about the actual unit itself. And so that's that destroyer, or whatever it is. What is it? I'm not sure what that ship actually is. And then we've got the aircraft carrier back in through here. The aircraft carrier has got protection, so it's got like CWIS and just a few other sorts of anti-air protection. So it's not really going to be able to help me in this particular fight. So these don't move around; these just stay where they are. I can't actually go and tell them to move anywhere. But I can sort of tell them, to turn on their radar, for example, to see if there's any aircraft coming. So if I go and do that, it's then going to have an active radar, which will then sort of allow it to then start to spot things at range, but it also then can become a target. So once you've got the radar on, you then become visible. We start off with only helicopters and ships. If I go and click on this one through here, one of the things we have is this special. We have specials in through here. We have the landing. We've got 4 landing craft that come with the aircraft carrier. If I go and click on those, I can then load them with combinations. If I go back up to my infantry, because what I want to do here is actually go to probably recon, get the scouts, and you can see down through here again, each of these, the javelin has got a range of 1,300, which is enough for me to fire across that water. So I can actually use javelins there, but there's only 3 of them in the actual force. So the cavalry scouts are great at taking things out at range, as in sort of vehicles. The Punishers are sort of mid-range. You can see there was 600. Pararescue are short range. They've got shotguns. They're much better at operating inside the inside buildings. The snipers, a longish range there at 900. So I could actually bring one of those across as well. And we have 30 shots with the sniper rifle. I can't bring that one in because it's doesn't have a spawn for that particular one. So I can sort of bring those different things, and you can see the different methods of moving them in as well. Like when I sort of hover over what these things can be loaded into. infantry that I've got is the Delta Force in through here are going to be short range, so they're going to be more, again, for clearing out close areas. So these, it's useless having these if I'm sort of out in the open and I'm being fired at even from over here. The range is too much for me to close the gap, so they're going to be destroyed. So I need to make sure that they either fight really closely inside forest or in buildings. They're the sort of the two areas that we have. So Delta Force is much more a force that we then use to clear out close quarters. The Rangers back through here have got sort of like mid-range, and so these actually can operate fairly well against other infantry out in the open, so that's actually, they're okay for that one. They don't have as good at armor. And then finally we have this one here with the 500 meter attack there, which is probably not going to be enough to get across the across that gap. So even just planning this little part of the operation, I'll show you what I mean with this one. If I just go back into my recon, my cavalry scouts have got the best bang for buck and range with the javelin missile, but I've only got 3 of them. So I'd be wanting to bring maybe 2 of those across into this island. I do, yeah, I've got the green berets. I've got maybe a sniper as well. I might just bring a sniper out and sort of just use those on that island. That's we've got 3 units there. These have also got 3, so that's we're up to nine characters just by doing 2 of those, 1 of those, and if we go across, if I can't load them in, if I click on one of them, I can load multiple of the same type onto a vehicle. But if I go to the vehicle, I can mix and match. So if I go and click on this one through here, and I go to the cavalry scouts, I'm going to grab 2 cavalry scouts. So I've got 2 of those on board. 1 sniper. I can put some of the equipment on board as well. It can actually go and carry some of these, like the big tanks and things as well, if I wanted to, which wouldn't be bad, to be honest. We've got some of our tanks have got like better vision. Like this one here is a tank that is fairly powerful. But does actually have better vision. This one here is even better again. So this one here is actually a scout tank. So let's go and throw this one in. It's got very, very good armor at the front. So the armor does matter, the facing. So let's go and throw that one in as well. And now we're looking that we've nearly filled up this particular one. Can we put supply in? Okay, I just want to put a little bit of supply in as well. I can put 3,875. It's now full of its weight. So I'm going to go and place that one over in here. So I'm just going to go and tell it to go there. And I'll just unpause. So if I now just unpause the game, we're down to 300 points. So that landing craft will now move off. There's B that we have to get to as well. But let's just, I'll show you what I mean with this. This one actually does and I'm going to unload all of this in here. So I'm just going to go and tell it to unload at that location right there. Now the cargo is used for repairing units, but also for and I'll just go down to say quarter speed. So with that one there, it's now offloaded everything. You see it doesn't take time to offload. Back to base you go. Cavalry scouts, I'm going to move them in. And again, if I press the Alt, I just got to be able to see across. So I'm going to move that one into there where I can see what's going on. The cavalry scouts here, I'm going to move them off as well. So I'm just going to press Alt. That'll do. I've got the tank as well. I'm just going to go and click and drag. I've got facing that I can then go and change. So I'll have it come out that way. That's now moving off. And I've got the sniper as well. I'll just go and place the sniper back over here somewhere. And again, just press Alt to make sure I can see across. Now they can see further than what we see through there. But with this one now sort of coming back in, I'll just go up to say half speed. As they move into the tree line, they're going to start to be able to spot. So they'll start to see things. They're also, there we go, we're seeing now a vehicle. This is a BMP. So this BMP is now moving through. My guys are starting to now load them up. Bang, hit it, almost destroyed it. And here comes a javelin. Bang, gone. Let's just pause there. So that's been taken out by the javelins that have come in through this other side. We're not seeing damage done yet to these, but they're now being attacked by this guy. And so we've got ourselves another, this is a, what is it, a BTR this time. So we've got a Russian BTR has now moved into this, across this particular zone. So our forces in here So the BTR, I'm not exactly sure of how much it can actually then go and do, but it's now trying to fire at my units. Now we haven't taken any damage yet, but we are being fired at. So we're in. You can see we've got like a tree line in through this other side. So we're inside the tree. My sniper, no point the sniper using its gun here, this long range gun. It can take out. It may still do it actually. It can target vehicles, helicopters, and also infantry. So maybe it will do that. But if I go and actually I don't need to do that one. I'll just go and stop. Cancel the order. If I show you, look, with this javelin is now being reloaded. We're down to 2 left. And if I go and have a look at this particular unit in through this other side, from that javelin, from this guy here, where they've got the javelin, they've got an M203 and an M4A1. They've got 3 of those, 1 of those and 1 javelin. So if I go and click on that one through there, you'll see there the range for the M4A1 and the M203 is only half the range across. And so that's where these things, and if I have a quick look at what's going on here, the range on these is 400 meters, 400 meters, and then the javelin is 1300. And so this is where the range is very, very important to know which unit you're going to use in what location. And so you build that with your deck. And so in this case, when I hover over that one, and again in multiplayer, you don't get a chance to do this. So I love that they've put all this in, because we can see through there that this one is 821 meters away from that particular cavalry scout. We've got 100% penetration on the actual armor of this vehicle. Like, the vehicle is not heavily armored. The javelin's going to be going in. The javelin can certainly do it at that range, and so really that's a dead duck in terms of what that one's doing. We can also see that our scout tank in through here, if you have a quick look and see what it's got this one here is 600 meters. This one here is 800 meters. So it may be able to use the Browning. But in terms of the main gun is up to, if I go and click on these, 1400 meters for these. In fact, it's going to be using this one here. So 1400 meters. So that one then is just going to go through. So this one here is targeting it. And so that in that case, it's you can see one of the guns there fails at the time. It's only 700 meters away, so it can use the Browning. The cavalry scout here also will be able to target this one as well. So all of them will be sort of targeting what this one does do. There's another one coming back over there. And that one's also, I can actually give it explicit orders to then go and start to take these out. I'll just let them do their own thing. I can give them orders, but I'll just watch what actually happens in here. And so the game is, like if in multiplayer, you'd be playing this game like this. So you'd be back here, looking at just the icons. That's how you'd be playing this. You'd be essentially finding an angle. You'd be zipping around all over the place. You'd be getting other forces ready to, for example, to move into here or to do something else to sort of then take things out. So Seeking Matter saying I'm late. What game is this? Is Broken Arrow. This is unbelievably good. It's unbelievably good with some major issues at the moment, which will be fixed. And the big one is I can't save. If I go into here, there's no saving here. The other big issue is in the hotkeys. If I go down to try to set up my pause, which is game pause here, the tactical pause, that one there doesn't take the space bar. So I've got to use left shift, but that left shift is also what you use to do waypoints. So it's not ideal. So there's a few teething problems for single player players. If you're a multiplayer player, you're going to not have the ability to pause or slow down time, so it will be fairly frantic. That's why you'll be sort of back looking at the icons, whereas for us single player players, we get to zoom right in on the actual tank, all the tank action, and sort of see it sort of lining things up. So so I'll just go and unpause again. So we're playing it at half speed. So they're firing at this one. Cavalry scouts, actually, they shouldn't have been doing what I've got them moving. I must have given them an order accidentally. This one is taking damage. We're losing sight. As soon as I start to zoom in on a unit, like it locks in on it, which is actually quite nice. So this BTR is now also going to be targeted. So I've actually got these cavalry scouts were moving in where they really shouldn't have. Let's have a quick look and see. This guy here has fired one of the javelins. It should have killed it. Not sure why it's not doing that. We've fired 2 of these in through here. This guy's still got all 3. I'm just going to move him back into that position there. And so I can sort of leave them here to sort of try to clear out at least what they can spot. Now, over time, they'll also then spot things in the city itself. So they'll start to see more and more units. Let's go to this one here. The game looks beautiful, by the way. It just absolutely looks great. Once I lock in, it's then going to sort of target everything else. So it's loading. Here comes a javelin. Bang, gone. So now again, you wouldn't get to see. Here we go. So the guys are now starting to pick up. We've got an anti-tank faggot group, which is actually back in through here now, which is going to. Now that's 900 meters away. This guy here can target it. You can see there the. The Browning is going to not quite reach that particular group. So they're 900 meters away from this particular tank. They're here to target tanks. So this one here will then start to take damage. This cavalry scout is just outside the range of the supply, and it's still got 1 javelin. I'll keep it where it is until it uses up that javelin. We also then just have motor Strelky infantry forces down through there. They're not going to have the range to fire. My scouts, can they see them? Yeah, they should be able to start to pick them up. So we haven't fired with that yet, but if I go and start to target them, actually they're out of range. No, we don't have the range on those. So the scouts don't have the long range because their weapon is only 900 meters. So they're not going to have the ability to shoot across that gap. But this is just a very, very, very minor part of clearing out this particular zone. I've found this to be an effective way to do this. Let's just go and clear out what we can from here. It just means that essentially these will stop firing until they find another actual target. Now we know that there was another BMP that sort of had wandered off this way. It will be out of sight now behind this tanker. It should wander back in which case the other guys will then sort of go back through. It doesn't tell you who they're targeting, but in this case they should be targeting this group in through here. I can tell them what to go and do, but let's just go and watch it again from the perspective here, I guess. Just go on pause. They should move across to get into a firing position. There we go. We're seeing even more of them now coming through. Bang. Did some damage to it. Here they go. These guys should pick them up. This one's now picking it up. Will it get in behind a building? It's fired, but it may lose it behind the building. That's been panicked, and they've both fired, but it's behind the building, and we've actually missed we don't know where that actually is. Just pause that. At this point, we can see this guy's now out of bullets or out of javelins. So we just move him back inside that circle, and this one here is still firing. Nothing has been able to fire yet back on the tank, but the tank again has got very, very strong frontal armor. So it's as long as I'm facing that way, I'm fairly secure. And this one here has still got 2 javelins. So when that comes out to the other side of that area, hopefully we'll be then able to spot it with these scouts. Yeah, so I do have pretty good vision across there. Just pressing the Alt key to sort of see what's happening. Just place a little bit. Now that guy there, the faggot, is the most dangerous. There we go. Come on, fire, fire, fire! Now, quick. We're gonna miss it again. We'll lose sight of it. Oh no, maybe not. Bang. It's now panicked. We have now lost sight of it. They're now firing at us. And you'll see there that this has now been shocked. So that means that we now slow down with everything we do on the actual on the unit itself. Here comes another one. Now the cavalry scouts here, do they even inside there they get to load in and do things. We're now taking damage here. So we're now panicked, but we've still got fairly good health. They're out of bullets, which is interesting. That's a BMP. Yeah, bang. It's now gone with the javelin. This guy is filling up the javelins as he's firing. This one here is now out of javelins. Let's move you back. This one's taking another rocket damage. So that faggot group has now made its way into a building. It's still going to be way too far. Oh, it's not too bad. It's... Oh, here they come. Here they come. Just need them to come over to here. Now we've taken half damage in through this other side. This one will now load up. What I can do here is I'm playing this at half speed, but in this case we've got the so we've done a bit of damage to these. Now the javelins are only good against vehicles. They're not good against infantry. But the scouts, the snipers, even though they can't fire at these, they can still spot for them. Now that's an anti-air at the back. And if I just go back into here, rather than turn around and start to do things, I'm going to reverse up. We're now halfway through our high explosive ammunition. You can see it's now loading it back in again. And I'm not sure where the other group has actually got to. Oh, there they are. So they're moving around a little bit. Moving targets. Here they come again. They're going to fire at us yet again. Bang. So we've now taken a bit more damage there, but because of our frontal armor, we really do have great protection. I'm going to reverse up, back around, away again. If I press Alt, they can still see me there. I can still be spotted. But at least we'll then start to heal up. This one here is, I'll just move that one away because there will be splash damage if they do sort of start to fire again. So these guys are now repairing and rearming. So they'll start to repair the tank. And we can just keep on sort of leaving it there. And then once we sort of have that one done, I can then just go back in to my, like if I just pause again, I can go back to my helicopters, grab the Silent Hawks, go and grab, again, we know that the Delta Force is good in close quarters, but the Rangers are probably better off out and about. So I can just go and grab like a Ranger group there. I can go and get like multiple helicopters as well, like with the multiple Rangers in through this other side. I don't know if I can actually then start to throw in other, I would like to get more snipers as well. So if I throw in a couple of snipers, a couple of sniper teams, so I can sort of start to mix and match. Let's just go and place them over here. So they're going to fly that way. Now we know that there was also an anti-air that was wandering around in here, so we have to be a little bit careful. But these are stealth helicopters, and so they actually have they can only be seen from like about a third the distance of what a normal spotting is. If I just go back out again. Here they come. Now these guys should pick it up. Nope. Helicopters coming over. Tell them to unload. I've got to unload it sort of in the out in the open. But the other good thing about this game is it's modern. Like it's a modern game. Like it's set in modern times. But it's more designed for playing back like this, you know, looking, but it's just so damn good, you know, like just, it looks so good when you're actually in close to things. There we go, bang, two of them just copped it. So it's just got one guy now on his own. He's now shocked, and so he's basically going to be taken out. So he's being taken out by by that guy there. Bang, gone. So that's the main threat now to our scout tank. And they've now sort of finished off doing what they're doing. We can now sort of fairly safely move that one up. Helicopters are now coming back through. They're unloading their team. So as they come back through, the guys go. I can just go and grab these helicopters back home again. Get you back home again, and then this one here back home again. And so you can play at your own pace, which I love. Snipers, let's go and see what we can spot from in here. Again, if I'm trying to sort of see what we can see, I think that's a good spot for the snipers, so I'll throw them in there. We've then got the Rangers as well. We'll start to bring them across. So we're sort of secure over in this location. And should have one more lot of snipers as well. So I'll bring the snipers over. I can bring the snipers into, for example, this building. So I'll get them sort of charging that way. I'll just put it up to normal speed again. So that little setup that we've put in through here has really done a lot of damage to the forces that were here originally. They will bring more in because they're also getting points. So they'll actually start, we have to start to sort of come in and take different areas. That Silent Hawk can go back home. Again, the look of it is just awesome. Like it really does look good. Oh, hang on, I can't latch onto it. There we go. Now we got it. Just going to sort of fly back, and it'll slow down, pick up the bits and pieces. Bang! It's just taken out another one at the back there. It's a beautiful game. It really is great. There's 2 anti-air. Here comes another one, and we should have one of these. We'll take it out. There we go, and it's going in front. Yeah, so that's going to be destroyed. Just for the javelins. Still got 2 javelins on that one. So the snipers coming through, rangers, I'll just jump them across into that other tree line. Very important to make use of the terrain that you've got. And then we'll just watch from this one here. We'll be able to, here we go, we're now seeing other BMPs. Now they probably won't see the snipers. They're moving out into the forest themselves. These guys here. Oh, we have been spotted. So these rangers have been spotted as they move across that open terrain. Now our guys can fire at these. So they should be starting to sort of fire on top of onto these. Yeah, so they've been fired at by the sniper. So yeah, the game I don't know, it's got a real charm to it, and it just looks fantastic. The sound is awesome. It's just got these little sort of not game-breaking, well, they are game-breaking problems, but they will be fixed very, very shortly. Anyway, I hope that sort of explains a little bit about what the game is. Like these rangers are now down to 7 units out of the 9. So we've got the rangers coming back this way as well. So we're in the tree line, which is very important. They also took damage. Snipers moving in. So if we, I probably really should have brought a Delta Force in to sort of do some damage there. There we go. We're sort of there is things actually still sort of firing in. Let's land a Delta Force group in right in the middle here and just see if we can actually take this out, and just see if we can grab it, and then I'll finish off at that point. But unfortunately, I can't save progress here. And by the way, it's not just taking these. You've got to take the whole area ultimately, otherwise you're sort of stuck with it. But this is yeah. So this is the one that we were looking at before. We were over there playing through the middle there. It was the same map. Anyway, let's just go back in. Helicopters. I'll just get a Silent Hawk, and I'll throw in some Delta Force. I'll go and get 2 of those, and we'll just go and give them an order to land in here. And you'll see the anti-air as we sort of start to do this one. I'll just go back to half speed. It's a game I've really been enjoying playing. I'm going to go and offload there. So two Delta Force teams. And this is where the survivability is a bit suspect in the game. Trying to keep them behind cover. Let's see what happens here. So we'll bring this one through. Now, we haven't been targeted by any anti-air because these are stealth. So this gives me the chance to then sort of bring my Delta Force team in. Okay, it's being fired at by somewhere, so it knows that there's a problem. Yep, so we have been fired at, but we haven't suffered anything just yet. So Delta Force is still on board. There they are. Into the building quickly. You go home. You go home as well. So I'm just giving them the orders to disappear back home again. So my Delta Force got there unscathed into the building itself, and so I can now just sort of go back through and start to have these now move across into these different locations. These are not good at long range, remember. So these are fine. So at this point, I can't really fire back unless they are, it's just inside the range now. So we are now firing at these, which is good, and we have the protection of this zone. So I don't want them on this edge. I'm just going to move them across to give support, because these guys do actually have longer range than the Delta Force. Just move that one out of the way. Yep, so I want to move that one away from that particular location. So we still haven't taken this yet. And when we take these, we then sort of can start to spawn in at this location as well. So we're now taking this checkpoint, but it's really quite cool the way it does work. That's Rangers there. They may be able to take this thing out. They're going to be using they're using grenades. Now that one's now lost its spotting. Like it can still spot, but ineffectively. Got it. And we've now taken this location, so that location has fallen. That's a good place to stop. But I can't save it, unfortunately, so I'll exit that to the desktop. But it's now the reason we could do all that with those stealth choppers and stuff is because we were using spec ops as one of our specializations. But it's so it's very, very cool the way it sort of does work. So Guy Bellaby saying, how different is this game to Warno? I don't know. I haven't played Warno. It's sort of, I don't know, does Warno have a tactical pause, like active pause? I don't know if it does. Yeah, so Dave Flute saying it looks like Warno. Warno, I believe, is set in the 1980s. This one is set modern day. Thor saying, any of you guys familiar with Combat Mission 2 and all its different variations? Best squad level skirmish game bar none, but really need a quality of life and graphics update. Yes, that's the trouble with things like Combat Mission, is they've got much more detail in them than for example, Broken Arrow. They're a turn-based, essentially a turn-based game. They can be played real time, but they are much more detailed. And same with Armour Brigade 2. Like Armour Brigade 2 is more realistic. In the sense that it's things that you sort of play out. It's a very difficult game. Actually, I'll show you it. Armour Brigade. I don't play this game enough, and I really enjoy it a lot. But this is a game that came out fairly recently. This one here is got less in some things that you can do, but then it actually plays out more realistically. So if we go into, I don't even know if I go, I can't remember where I'm up to with this one here. Yeah, British Army in Poland for whatever reason. If I just go back in, I'll just go and load it in. I'm not sure if this is the end of a game. Oh, it must be the start of a game actually. Looks like I've sort of set things up. But these are real world maps. So it plays on a monstrously large map, but you only play in a small portion. And so you've then got like different areas then coming through. I won't play it, but essentially these the forces here they will find their own areas essentially within the grid. So unlike Combat Mission, where you can actually put it behind specific trees, this one you just put it into locations. I'll just resume. I'm not sure. This was actually part of an attack that I was doing, where I was just trying to sort of race forward with a whole lot of units. I do remember this now. So I'm trying to sweep through this forest, which is quite difficult. So the forces that we have through here, and this one doesn't have the same degree of being able to sort of lock onto units as effectively as Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow has certainly got a much better sort of quality of life aspect, or user experience is very polished in Broken Arrow. But this one is actually more detailed. So you'll sort of see comparisons a little bit with these sorts of games with people who play Slytherin games as well, just with the overall complexity that we actually have in these games. So it's, but this is more realistic, I guess, in the way that it sort of is applied, which is, so I've just, as I said before, I've just got like a group working through their way through there. I've got tank forces, I think, from memory, back in through this other side, sort of dug in, sort of looking across. You got more orders and things you can sort of give in these sorts of games. Anyway, I won't play this one, but I'll just exit. And so that's but that's actually, there's a lot of different war games. Combat Mission, as you said before, is very much a the detail level in combat mission is much higher. Again, I don't think I've got any real modern things. I think that's one of the charms of Broken Arrow is it's played in modern times. Okay, so I thought it's interesting. Yeah, that we've got there. Brian saying, trying to get into Field of Glory Kingdoms, but I keep losing, especially when I try to expand. How quickly do you try to expand typically in the first 20 moves? Limited expansion. It's important to be able to get back and protect your forces, and it's also important to if you're playing with Field of Glory Medieval too, so playing the battles in that one, you'll find it easier to manage the way that you play. If you're playing inside the actual game in Field of Glory Kingdoms, you really have to look at the terrain that you're fighting on. It's more punishing in the mix of your forces. So you've got to have combined forces. You sort of got to know how to play the battles. That's really the key, I think, to expansion in Field of Glory Kingdoms. But if you are using the auto battler, that is it's very, very good, but it doesn't really have the same. Like if you played in Medieval, you can cheese your way through it a little bit more. Like not completely, but you can get a bit cheesy with your setup. So you can sort of make units that shouldn't fight well in forest, for example, like cavalry. You can still get them to work semi-effectively, whereas in the actual game itself, Field of Glory Kingdoms, the actual terrain plays a much bigger role in the combat itself. If that helps. All right, let's go through a few of the other games that have come out this week. The other one was Bellfortis, which I did sort of cover. This is a game that I like. I think it could be a very, very good game. It's not very good yet. It's good, but it's not very good. If we go and have a look at the, just going back and open up. Where is it? This one through here. I'll just have a look at Bellfortis and just see what people are thinking of it. So positive 95%. It's not worth 95% at this point in time. It's worth probably. When you first start playing it, it reminds me very much of Lord of the Realm, or Lord of the Realm 2. It's got that same sort of feel about it, which is very nostalgic. So you gravitate to it because of that. It's also got these real-time battles, but to be honest, the real-time battles are not awesome. They're very quick, which is fine, but there's not as much strategy involved in actually doing these real-time battles as I would have hoped. You still do have choice as to what you do with them, and you can move things around, but they're a bit clunky. So at this point in time, and it's only one developer, by the way. It's a single developer who has actually made this game, and so he's done an incredible job. But I wouldn't rate it 95. If I was rating it, I'd rate it at this stage 75. And the reason for that is that once you start to expand in this game as well, it's very easy to hit you in the flank, and so it's hard to lock down choke points in this game because you tend to end up with a stack of doom, like with your main army, and then defensively, you don't get massive bonuses defensively in this game. So, for example, like in Field of Glory Kingdoms, it's probably a good one to sort of even compare it to in that sort of degree. In Field of Glory Kingdoms, you do actually end up, like depending on what you build, you can end up with garrisons, you can end up with sieges, like depending on how you build it. So you can slow things down in Field of Glory Kingdoms. In this one, you really don't. You just get attacked, and then that's it. There's no delay, which is a problem. And so for me, the pacing of the actual game itself, in the sense of the actual way that once you've got a stack of doom and you start to expand, it becomes very difficult to hold on to the other bits that people can hit you in the flank. So it's sort of one of these things where the way that you would get around that would be through diplomacy, and it does have a very good diplomacy system in the game, but everything is tied to money as well. So the negatives for me are that you never have enough money, and you need the money to build your armies. There's diplomatic capital, and I think that they should just use that. And I think that I'm thinking that there will be rebalances in the future, which I think will then make this into a very, very good game. So I'm sort of on the I'm looking forward to see where this one does go. It's not early access. I would have released this into early access, to be honest. At this point in time, I think it's a very good early access game. I'm sure the dev will actually work on it. As I said at the start, I did send my feedback through to him, and he was saying, look, he's got 300 things in his list of to-dos of what people want. So he's sort of trying to put things, trying to figure out what will work and what won't work, and that's good. I like. What you don't want is a dev that would just say, "Oh yeah, no, I'll do that," and without, because they're the closest to their own game. So I mean, unless of course you're asking for tactical pause. This game does have it, by the way, in its combat. So this is actually it's an interesting little game. This one, it's very much lighter than Field of Glory Kingdoms. Field of Glory Kingdoms is much more in depth. This game is as I said before, very much like Lord of the Realm. That's really what it sort of does remind me of. So Thor is saying, I love the WeGo of combat mission, plan the next minute and then analyze the result. Yeah, I love that as well. I love it. All of your own time, and you'll not miss having lost an entire platoon of yes. That's actually one of the problems with these real-time games as well. Like often you're focused in one area and then you're being absolutely crushed in another area. I'm just going to grab myself a drink of water. I'll be right back. Yeah, so look out for Bellfortis. I think that it's going to be a very good game. I won't say a great game yet, but I think it has the potential to be something fairly special. But I would let it percolate a little bit longer. But it's good to play now. It's actually fun to play. It's just not great to play. So the 95s that we're seeing through here, I think are potentially people who have played for about an hour. I would think, because the first hour is quite interesting, and the overall mechanics are interesting as well, but it's just not quite just not quite there in terms of the overall gaming pace. Let's have a look and see what the people are saying about it. Just see if there's see how things go, and also I think with indie games people are a little bit more forgiving, which is fine because you've got like single developers. Yeah, 8 and a bit hours. Just see if I don't think there's going to be any negatives. Like for me, I wouldn't give it a thumbs down, but I certainly would actually write about it. Yeah, only played a few minutes. Yeah, if you play a few minutes, you're going to think, "Oh my God, where's this game been all my life?" That's the sort of feel you get from it. Definitely a Total War plus Paradox game, but the learning curve is very easy. It's intuitive and there's a helpful instruction book. It does need polish, but yeah, that's not. So I wouldn't really rate that amount of time. So amazing game for people who don't have time for Paradox games and Total War. Yeah, pretty much, except that again the Paradox games. And I was trying to think when I was actually streaming it, and of course the game I was thinking of was Age of Wonders, which is a Paradox game. Age of Wonders had the same sort of issues, and they solved it very, very effectively, which is essentially how do you delay the attacks coming in against you, but not sort of hamstring people completely. So Age of Wonders solved it. Field of Glory Kingdoms solved it with the siege mechanics. This game hasn't solved that yet. And so it needs to fix that up in terms of slowing the attacks down, but without actually making it so that you end up with, where you completely stop an attack, but you need to delay it. And so for me, what I'd love to see in the game would be much faster movement on interior lines, so that if you so you can move back through your own territory very, very quickly. And I would also like to see sort of things, a better way of actually being able to build up defences in choke points where you don't have to move off. And again, Field of Glory Kingdoms does that effectively, and also Age of Wonders does that effectively as well. So I still think that it's going to be a very, very good game. a great strategy game overall with solid mechanics and engaging gameplay. I've really enjoyed the experience so far and definitely recommend it to fans of the genre. That said, I do have some feedback that I think could improve the game. That's what I like to see. Hotkeys and shortcuts. The game would benefit a lot from having keyboard shortcuts for key functions. Yes, it would. I would speed up gameplay and improve the user experience. For me, I like to slow it down a bit, especially during long sessions. War declarations. It feels unfair that AI-controlled neighbours or even allies can attack you without any warning. There should be at least one turn. That's a very good suggestion. And the actual attack, giving the players some time to react or prepare defences. Yes, I really like that, actually. I really like that. Diplomacy system, the diplomacy mechanics need more depth. Right now, having allies won't provide much benefit, as they still act unpredictably, even backstab you with no consequences. Yeah, there's like a diplomacy, but there's also like a spy system. The thing I don't like about those systems is it costs you a lot of money, and it shouldn't cost you money. It should cost prestige to actually to do those. The prestige in the game is a resource, so you've got it there to spend, and so money shouldn't be what you spend for doing that. It should be the prestige. And so that's my sort of take on that. I don't mind the diplomacy in the game. Marriage inheritance mechanic. I married into an allied kingdom and suddenly inherited all their provinces, which had no buildings and a massive army I couldn't support. This tanked my economy. Yeah, so you find that a bit, and I had to spend 20 turns just to make up those provinces barely useful. I also had to disband a large number of units. When you do tend to take provinces, most of the buildings end up disappearing. So yeah, this is exactly the sort of balance that you're sort of seeing. And 7.5 hours is not a real lot of time in the game. So he's sort of gone through the same initial loving the game down to being, it needs a bit of work. So it doesn't take long before you start to sort of see that there's bits that do need some attention. So despite these issues, the core gameplay is enjoyable and shows a lot of promise. With a few updates and improvements, this could become one of the best strategy games out there. I agree 100%. That's actually a very, very good review. And this is the suggestions there are spot on. I like. Yeah, that's exactly my experience as well. This is someone with nearly 60 hours. I would give this game an average rating on its overall performance. So there are many areas that could be improved upon. I have not had a chance to rate its replayability yet either. I've enjoyed playing replayability is not a problem actually in this game. When you play the game, you get random buildings at the start. You get random buildings. You get random armies. So you don't get the same start, even if you play in the same areas. It's actually can be really, really different. Like in one I played where I ended up with having a very, very strong building system right from the very, very start. And then the next time I played it, just as I was just testing it, the very next iteration, it had 0 buildings in this particular province. And so, yeah, it does change. And even the actual makeup of the armies, in one of them I had 2 forces of very, very strong cavalry, and then in the next one I only had 1. Like, so it chops and changes, which is great. So you don't know what you're going to get. So I've had not a chance to rate the replayability yet. Yeah, I would say that's high. I've enjoyed playing the game and have spent 17 hours invested in playing. There have been a number of crashes, so stability is an issue. I haven't had any crashes. It has some nice mechanics like the random events that pop up and the diplomacy. I tried to turn them off, but they didn't stay turned off. I don't like random events. I like random things, but I don't like random events. And the diplomacy is interesting, if simple. That is the main appeal and drawback at the same time. It's a simple game that can be learnt and played quickly, but there are many times that I found myself wanting more. The units are tiny and very cartoony, but that does not. But that does add a bit of the charm to the game. Yeah, I don't mind that. I really do like the 2D art, such as the unit cards and leader portraits. Yeah, they're okay. Overall, as I stated earlier, I would say that this is an average gaming experience, certainly nowhere near the depth of Total War or Crusader Kings, but you can win a campaign in a short time. So there is that. I would say I got my $20 worth. I would pay more than I wouldn't pay more than that in its current form. I think that's a fair review as well. So that's a good one. Only 2 hours. 2 hours isn't enough time in the game, to be honest. I don't know if there's going to be any negatives. He's still in the honeymoon period of that particular review. 1.5, not enough time. 58 into his fantastic game in 1 turn is never enough. Basically Total War, but sped up. No, see, that's not. like it spent a lot of time in the game, but 11 hours at review time. I don't know. Like it's sort of he's not seeing any of the negatives, whereas definitely there's negatives. There's definitely negatives. Only 4.5 hours there as well. Right now the game does not have a lot of content. You pretty much it should be early access. She does say early access. Has it been in early access for a while? Yeah, these are old reviews. These are old reviews. So yeah, maybe it's gone through the early access phase and is now sort of in out in the open, out in the wild. Okay, so Sorbacol saying, England need 350 more runs against India to win. I think Rahul and Pant may have taken the game beyond them. Still, if anyone can chase it down, England can. Oh, I don't know about that. My money would be on India with that much runs to pick up. So so we were saying, I'm sorry, I've only been half paying attention to the stream. I haven't kept up with that particular test match. I've sort of seen little bits and pieces. It's actually, I thought India was going to smash them, to be honest, like England. It was, India's got like an incredible team. But so it's interesting. I did mean to sort of watch and see what was going on with that one. Anyway, Bellfortis, it's worth looking at. So, but not there yet. But I'm pretty sure we'll. I sort of wish it was still in early access, to be honest. And it's sort of. It's funny because I know that I passed up on it because of the demo. I didn't want to play the demo of it. I was interested in it. In fact, did I end up with the demo? Just see if I've actually... No, I don't have it in my demos. So I was interested in the game, but I was waiting for it to sort of come into what I thought was going to be early access. So I sort of... but yeah, for me, it's still an early access game, but is being developed. The other game, actually, this one here, I just noticed, it got Stolen Realm. Stolen Realm has just had a big update as well. So because saying, I don't know, it's not like England haven't done it before. Yeah, it's rare though. It's rare. I think the odds would definitely be with India. Stolen Realm is actually an interesting game. I don't know if you've seen this one as well. This one also rates extremely highly on Steam. If I just go back into my Steam reviews, Steam areas. This is a game that I haven't played a hell of a lot of, but there's now a Chaos Pack that's just come out for it. Just have a quick look at it and just see what we got through here. So this one here is rated very positively, 87%, 85%, with a lot of reviews, and it's one of these games where it can be really quite different the way that you play it. It's got a lot of random sort of procedural generation, and it's very, very well done. So they've now got the Chaos Pack, which has just come out. And so this has only just come out, basically this week. Chaos has arrived. I haven't played with the Chaos Pack much. So embracing unpredictability, bend reality, tip the scales. Chaos Pack is a wild new skill tree that brings glorious randomness to every battle. So you've got different, taste the chaos in through there. There's a whole lot of different things you can then go and do. So I might fire that one up as well. I mean, I've got a bit of time, so I'll go and show you Stolen Realm. I'll just do I'll just start a quick game and then sort of get into it. I sort of cleared out all of my game saves yesterday, and I'll clear out the one that I've been playing with. So if you're not familiar with this game, it's a tactical sort of combat game, medieval sort of combat game, or high fantasy combat game. If I just go across and play, I'll play a roguelike. If I continue, so have I got something here, have I? Okay. And it's just like I've just got a unit here. It's actually I do have a team. I'll go and ditch this particular group. Just go back out again to the main menu. The campaign also does have sort of like random elements in it, from what I can sort of remember. Let's go back to play. I will play roguelike, but I'll do a play. And so the way it sort of works through here is like you've got different sorts of units that can then sort of come through. You can add more to your mix. So that's the available characters. Current party has got an empty slot. So I didn't want to play with these. If we just go back across, yeah. So these are you sort of end up sort of changing what style. In fact, I won't do that. I'll go back out. Yeah, so I'll just go and cancel. And I will actually go back to the campaign and play the start of one of those, just so you can see sort of how it's played. I just want to play something fairly fast. Let's go back to the main menu. I don't want to get too bogged down. Play, campaign. And so I've got these available characters to play. I'll ditch that one. I'll just go and delete that one there so you can sort of see what we end up having. So you end up with a cast of different characters in through there. They've got different presets that you can actually sort of go and get for the different types of units. So there's a fair few now in the game. A whole lot of them actually. So you've got your whole range, Druid, and then you've got the Chaos build as well, which has just come into the actual game itself with the various things in there. I won't actually play that. Oh, actually, I might bring one in. I might just start with a warrior, and I'll just leave everything in default. We've got no more points. It sort of has everything sort of in through here as well. I don't know if you can change your skills, but I'll just go next. And then you've got your actual character itself. I'll just go next. And so they come in low level like this, and so I'll go and accept that one. Just go and bring another one in as well. So I'll bring in a thief. I'll just leave them all defaults at this stage. Just go next, and I'll make this one female. You can change, of course, hair and stuff like that. Sort of change things around so that you end up with with different sorts of styles. So whatever you want to do, just go next. So she's also then got a weapon. We're just going and take that one. It's a thief. Got pyromancer. I'll get the ranger as well. So next and next. Accept. I'll just go in with these three. So if I just go into the into this slot, so you can just go and fill them in. So that's going to be the current party. The game scales depending on how many you bring into the actual party itself. So I'll accept the party, and you then got essentially your difficulty. I'll just play on classic and accept. And all you're really doing is just going through. You've got a town that you can then sort of that you can interact with down this way as well, like different a blacksmith shop, and sort of once you've started to sort of get money, you can then start to go and interact in the town itself. So you start back in through here, but then you go through this portal. So I'll just run through the portal, and so you end up with like a story quest in through here. Main quest goes this way. Then you've got these different areas where you've got like a side quests. Now these, I don't think these are random. So if we were going to defeat the Blood Mask boss, whatever that is, what's the experience we get from there? This one looks a bit easier. Defeat the Forest Giant. Let's just go and have a look at that one through there. Just start the quest, and so it now builds a random map where we do actually have like an algorithm of how it's then played out. Yeah, so Guy Bellby is saying this one reminds me of the look of For the King. It sort of does look like that. One thing I find annoying with this, and there may be some options in here where you can sort of change the overall look. Next character skill tree. I'm looking for ways to sort of minimise the trees themselves. No, I'm not seeing it there. Gameplay. Yep, that's okay. Video. But there's you've really got to search hard for the loot, and I don't like that in this one. I don't think it needs to be there. Just close that one off. So you do have to sort of use the just use the rotation, the Q and E keys, just to rotate around and look for anything that is a bit sort of special. But in this case, we don't really have a real lot. There is actually a interaction through there, but there may be again just hidden things that we're not seeing. Let's just go and I'll just go and do this fight. So if I go back across now and click on that one, our party will now move up to that particular interaction. So they then come in, and so the combat is algorithmic in the sense that it's got like different things that do get built in. Different areas like Reaper's Shrine, lifesteal increases by 8% if we're sort of inside its area. There is actually a smoke barrel. Creates a smoke cloud that increases dodge chance. We've then got an energy coil, decreases the cost of mana using abilities by 50%. Now, we don't actually have any mages, or did we bring one? No, we don't. This one over through here is a Guardian Shrine, so reduces damage taken by 20%. We have a electric barrel, a shock barrel through there, and we have a frost barrel in through there. So if we destroy those when there's units nearby, in fact there's one there as well, the frost barrel there, which has got a few different units that are close to that. So if I go and just, at the start I get to reposition my forces. So I've got Taylor, the attacker, so we'll actually stay pretty close. I can't sort of get in between both of these. I'll keep him where he is, so he's actually okay. Then we've got Bobby. I'm going to move Bobby across to here. So I'll just get that one tackling that side. Then Dallas, I want to get that one with the shot on the frost barrel. So I'm just going to move that one across to say here. And I'll just go confirm all. Right, so I'm just going to now attack. So the first one I'm just going to go and is attacking through here. Actually, to confirm all, did that work? Why is it not wanting to play? Placement. Oh, hang on, got to do that as well. There we go. Now we only got halfway through that particular one. Now I can't do another combat. I can now start to run away. And again, we've just done a little bit of damage, so I can come back and actually move them. I'm going to actually go and dealing cold damage and envelops the area in frost. So that's now applied the frost damage to this one through here. I can now start to move this one back. This is a this one gives you extra mana, which is not important to me. So I'm going to now move this guy back, or maybe this way here. It doesn't show you how far these guys can actually move. But these are, I think I'll even stay where I am with these others. And just because I'm not sure what the melee is of these blood mask guys. So how they sort of then go and work. Well, these are mages. They're going to need to move away from my forces. So we'll end our turn there. And we'll end our turn there. And there as well. Alright, now we've been sort of shocked here a bit. Which means we're going to have to do more damage. Not quite. So we've actually taken shock damage. I'll just stay where I am. Now these can now start to attack. So I've got the kill there. I've almost got it. Got that one. And I can't use that one. Now these are cleanses all debuffs. So for this guy here, I need to move this one away to try to get that one healed up. This one I don't think can really move away all that effectively. Let's just move out this way. See if we can get to these. This one doesn't need it. This one's going to be another one of these cleansing globules. So we'll end our turn here. So again, as things sort of develop in the combat, that will then sort of kick back in. It's not playing with chaos. I probably should have shown that. See the things that are being applied here. Okay. I don't know if she got the shot there. Okay, that one's down as well. That's good. Down as well. She's done incredibly well. Okay, that gets rid of all of the stuff that was on him. This one's got slight. issues. We'll just sort of start to now move this one up. Move this one up as well. Those cooldowns by 1. Okay, so not that we're really. I'm not using any of their big attacks. Actually, I should have done that. So I've got the I've got a range of different things that I could have done there. This one here cannot use any of its skills. This one here has got relocate, jump to the target area, crippling shot. We do actually have move, and I've just got the ranged attack, which is just the one that we have been using. So I'll if I go and grab that one. So it's now got slow applied to it. I'll move this one right away. And I'll just move this one in, and then I'll make better use of this one. There we go. So so they're now done. The essentially everything just comes back in, but it's actually a pretty cool little game. Like it's pretty good fun. So we've got all these different things in through here as well. We can start to sort of chop and change things with the skills. So we'll accept all of that. And if I then go back in, I can then start to sort of play with the actual units. So there's this progression. Once we actually get past this area, and again, I just got to keep on finding any of the loot that may be left over. You then go to the next part of the actual of the run. It then opens up a new part of the land, and you've then got other aspects where you can then sort of come back in. There's normally different decisions you can make. Just come back across to here. Intelligence has been applied. Now that's the attack that we then have to go and do. We do actually. Sorry, the damage that's been done to us is now in here for a bit of time. We do need to find ways of healing up. So, for example, if I do go back into this one, I might use. Yeah, they've all had their intelligence increased. I should be able to also just go back in, and I don't actually have any mana. Any healing aspects about what we're doing, but it's a pretty cool little game. Like it's actually fairly good fun to actually sort of play this one. So anyway, that's thought I'd just sort of show that one. And they do now have the Chaos Pack as well, which sort of makes the battles just a little bit more crazy. I'll exit the game. I won't bother saving anything, but it just progresses through. You then end up with a boss battle at the back end of everything that you're doing. You sometimes have choices as to where you're going to go as you sort of move through. It's a bit like, in that sense, a little bit like Slay the Spire, except you don't know exactly what's coming up ahead of you. So it's but no, it's a good little game, that one. So we've got that one through there. What else? Might just open up. I might just start to wind things up. I'll do a winner and loser today with everything, but I'll just see if there's other games. I feel like there's other games I should have been talking about today. There's been a lot of things released. There was actually discussion, you guys have noticed, we're talking about something that was coming up. Steam Summer Sale is 24th and 26th of June, yeah. So I'm not sure when that will be, but that'll probably be next week that we talk about that one, I guess. Anyway, let's have a look and see. It's actually the 24th now for me, but it's not coming up as the sale, so it might be. Usually is on Mondays. That's normally when it does start. Definitely not seeing it at this stage. So anyway, we'll go back in and have a look at the library. Oh, Backpack Battles also came out as well. Like this has been the #1 release of Backpack Battles. This one also is one that I have to update it to show it, but this one is a game that is very puzzly in just trying to sort of get things that will then sort of interact with things within your backpack. It's actually pretty cool the way it does work, and it's also rated like 93%, 91%. This is very, very highly rated for such a quick little sort of quick little game where the combinations that you put into your backpack affect how you then go into combat. It actually works very, very, very well. Like, it's actually a pretty amazing game. Like, it's very, very fast paced, and it all just comes down to the combos that you end up having. And so anyway, that one has literally just I think come out into the early access. Sorry, into full release. I think was, in fact, if we have a quick look and see, yeah, version 1 came out on June the 14th, and they're still just doing little patches and things. So anyway, it's a very, very nice little game. That one, I haven't played it for very long, but it's one that I really have enjoyed. Actually, even for how long have I played it for? 0.2 hours in the last 2 weeks. So I played it for 10 minutes, but I did actually think, oh, this is actually really cool. It actually looks good. There we go. Steam Summer Sale is June 26th to July 10th. Yeah, so next week we'll definitely be able to go through and have a look and see what's going to be on the sale. All right, the other thing, just go back into the library again, and then the library and through here. So I've covered Stolen Realm, Broken Arrow, Nitro Gen, Omega, Bellfortis. Oh, Songs of Conquest, that's another one that I wanted to talk about. Songs of Conquest has now just brought out another pack, another DLC pack. Songs of Conquest is probably the best thing, probably the best Heroes of Might and Magic sort of 3 type game out there. It's got good randomization. The different factions play a little bit. They're not the same sort of fantasy games as Heroes of Might and Magic, but they do actually have like a different sort of take on the fantasy side of things. And they've now just brought out the. In fact, I might as well click on it and show it. So they've got a price drop coming very, very soon. I don't know when that's going to actually hit, but anyway, that's so that it may already be in there. I'm not sure. Let's go to the store page. It's funny because it's got like very positive. It's got 85% reviews, which I think is fair, and then it's got mixed at like about 70%. I don't know what's happened in the last 30 days, but I find this game a pretty amazing game for what it does actually do. And again, it's very much a Heroes of Might and Magic. Actually, 70% off at the moment. There we go. Well, that sort of is. That is like it's got up until the until the sale. So. Yeah, so we've got the 70% off at the moment is actually very, very good. And then it's got the bundle at 70% off as well, which has got the Roots, has it? Yeah, Roots is... no, Roots doesn't have the special at this stage. 33% off for the Vanir, which is like another faction. But the Roots faction has just come out. I wonder what people are thinking of that. It's only just released. Positive. Yeah, 88%. This is one where you sort of play as almost like a Pangaea. If you've played Dominions, it's sort of like a Pangaea style playthrough where you've sort of got. Oh, actually, is it Pangaea? What's the deathly one? The sort of one that sort of more embraces death. It's sort of it's a fungus and trees type faction with a bit of a death area thrown into it as well. So I haven't played much with that one, but it does look good. So we'll go back into the library. All right, let's have a look through. The other big thing for me is the Archon Prophecy. The Archons are coming. They're coming in on August the 12th. So we've still got a bit of time up our sleeve for that one. So I'll be talking about that one, of course, as we get closer. The Archons were my favourite in Age of Wonders 2. So I'm looking forward to them coming. So I'm really looking forward to that. It looks like there's a lot coming in that particular pack, by the way. In fact, let's have a quick look at this one. That's what we're here for. We're here for exactly this. This one is going through specifics, but if we go down to the previous announcement, there is actually, so it's just going through other bits and pieces, talking about the expansion pass in through there, how that's going to work when this one does come out. The Archon Prophecy, you get two new forms, so the Elysian and the Ancient. New narrative content, two new story realms. Okay, so you're going to need to go and play the story realms for that one. I don't tend to play those. 4 new tomes. So Tome of Virtue, so empower your armies with unwavering righteousness and bolster their fighting spirit until the bitter end. Tome of Prophecies, weave fate into every moment with prophetic spells and omens that shape the battlefield. Tome of Revenant, so channel the power of the dead and take vengeance against the living. And Tome of the Archon, so summon celestial allies and ascend your units to the ranks of the Archons. I always loved the feel of the Archons in the they're sort of like almost like Roman angels, like in Age of Wonders 2, and so you can see there, answer the call of the divine with the power of the battle saint. This is a new hero class, whether guiding the faithful or a sacred support unit. We're sending this sounds great, and so much more. So there's including 7 new wildlife units roaming the wilds, 2 new mounts, so chariot and griffin. So these were very much like a Romanesque sort of style. They ended up having giants as well. Don't know if that will be the case here, but they sort of, like, certainly in the earlier games, the Archons were sort of like a celestial Roman force. They're not like, it sort of sounds like they're it sounds like they're religious, but they're righteous. It's more, the righteousness is actually exactly the word that they actually have. Like, they're judgmental. They're good. They're good and lawful, but they're extremely righteous. I really like them. Alongside Archon Prophecy, all Age of Wonders 4 players will receive a free content update on August the 12th. The Griffin update, which includes new features such as extra faction data, new form traits, flaws, hero class updates, and new notification settings. Yeah, that's going to be great. Can't wait. I can't wait for that. So that's coming a month and a half away. It's about 6 weeks away, 6 or 7 weeks. So that's on its way. So we'll certainly look at that in much more depth as it gets closer. Not sure. I usually get to play those about 3 or 4 days before release, so I won't really have that too early. Unfortunately, I would love that. Broken Arrow is out. We've spoken a fair bit about Broken Arrow. This is a game that is at the moment has some problems, but will be fixed. Like, it's the actual the bits that like the fixes, I think, are much easier than what it could be. The game is just so beautiful. It's such a beautiful game. Xenonauts 2, it's always just doing its monthly updates. Blood and Sand, this is actually We Who Are About to Die, so major updates back and through there again as well. That's a great little game. I should play that one more often. We've got Stolen Realm with the Chaos Pack, so we've got that one through there, and free major update coming, what's already out now. Roots release, we spoke about that one. Nitrogen Amiga, so that one is I showed you the combat there. Again, this game really surprised me. I find that this last 2 weeks. Last week I couldn't stop playing Broken Arrow just for my own enjoyment, and over the last couple of days I just haven't been able to stop playing Nitrogen Amiga. I really enjoyed it. So it's just purely for relaxation, which I don't normally do much with that. I always try to be trying to learn the next game to record, but in this case I've just been enjoying playing those 2 games. We've spoken about the Prophecy coming. This one here, the Archons coming on August the 12th. Bellfortis we spoke about, which has just been released. Again, that one through there. On the Western Front is a game that I've struggled trying to cover it. I like what it does, but I haven't really gone into that one in any sort of depth. This one is just will be so updates there for Cyberknights, Exfil, which I haven't covered. It's like, this is not great for single player. There is a way to play it, but it looks interesting, but it's just not quite sort of great for single player. Heart of the Machine, I do want to play this one some more actually, so I will have to look and see what the updates sort of bring. Stone Shard, yep, that's okay. Just see if there's anything there. We've got, I'm glad that Second Front is getting a bit of a look at. Second Front is one where the game mechanics aren't intuitive. It's a very, very good game, but with unintuitive game mechanics. So there's that one as well. And then Archmage Rises. I haven't really played that, so I don't know much about that one through there. Anyway, let's do the giveaway, I think. Excuse me. So we'll sort of get that one cranking. I'm trying to think what else is coming, actually, in the coming week. I feel like I've forgotten something big and important. But I can't think of what it actually is. All right, let's go. And so what we'll do today is I'll just go to my list of giveaways, and I will give away. I've got a lot here actually. I'll do the winner. We'll get. it's sort of funny. Like I've got some Terminator Dark Fate Defiance giveaways I can give away, but I want to leave them. I'll show you why. If I go back again into Steam, actually what I'll do is I'll get started, then I'll talk about that, and then we'll get going. So if I go back into Nightbot, and we'll just go and set the giveaways up. And next, just the word win. So if you can type win, Seeking Matter, you didn't actually make it there. I don't think it will pick you up. So if you can put yours back in again, please. It needs to be actually ready to go. So type win in the chat, and in the meantime, I'll just start to show a little bit of the of what game was I going to show? I've even forgotten what game it was. God, my mind's just gone completely blank. I should have at least started, I guess, trying to find what it actually was. Yeah, I can't think of what it was. There was something I was going to play or show. Let's go back in. Will my mind remember what it was that I wanted to actually go and show you guys? Oh, Dark Fate Defiance, Terminator. Yeah, so with Terminator, I'm going to probably hold on to those. So, but I will actually sort of show what's coming. This is a great little game as well. Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. This one does have active pause, so this one sort of does the right thing with bias, but it does actually have a. You can see I've got a fair bit of time here, 37 hours on this game. What's coming with this one, which makes this one really exciting, is there is actually, if I go back to the Community Hub and look at the news, I think. Yeah, the new Conquest Mode DLC is being released very soon. And so I thought it'd be a good time to give a bit more detail. Yeah, here we go. And this dev diary only just came out. So, yeah, we released a screenshot of the world map last month. I wanted to show you the updated version. Let's have a look at this one and just sort of see what we end up seeing in through here. So we've got the, so this is the world map. So this is much more of a strategy game as what will be coming. No saves for a roguelike experience. So, the team made the decision for the Uprising Conquest mode to remove the save game function during most battles. That's a mistake. There will be some auto saves during the final critical missions when objectives have been met, but these are slightly longer, harder missions. For most battles, there is no save. The battle should be somewhat shorter, with missions being won or lost in 15 or 20 minutes. No, that is not good. That is not a good sign. So that's a massive, massive error. That's 15 or 20 minutes for people who play fast. That's not 15 or 20 minutes for people like me who use the pause. For me, that will most likely be 2 hours. So I'm not going to. That's a bit of a deal breaker, actually. To not put the save in is a strange decision. To give people the choice would be okay, but to do that is weird. That is a weird decision. Oh my God, that is a strange way of playing. That's not cool. That is not good. However, there are many elements such as random, which you load the mission from that save. Hang on. However, as there are many elements that are random, when you when you reload a mission from that save, you'll likely get a different experience. Your spawn points may be different. Enemy will attack from a different direction. And encounters may be different. Even skipping a couple of days may mean that your mission will be somewhat different. It's been designed to create the roguelike experience that the Conquest mode gives you. Again, they're shoehorning like a way of playing that is not going to suit all players. And if you've got time problems, I'm fairly time critical. I get called away to do all sorts of things at a moment's notice, like during the day, which means I won't be able to play this during the day because I won't be able to dedicate the time to actually finish off a map. So for me, that's a massive, massive error or problem. Yeah, I'll try to remember to pass that feedback on, but that's not good. It's funny because I've been so looking forward to this mode, but to not have save during the battle, that's weird. That's a very strange decision. Very, very strange decision. I mean, I can understand if they had like an Iron Man mode again. Like, this is what these games should do. They should allow gamers to play it their way. But in this case, so yeah, this I'm not going to. I was like, I've got Terminator. I've got a Terminator game to give away, but I'm not going to do it yet. I was going to wait until we actually had this new mode, this particular conquest type mode. But yeah, I'm really disappointed to read this. Like for the uprising conquest mode to remove the save. That is strange. That is a strange decision. That's not a good decision. So I'll try to pass that feedback on. It looks very good. Like the actual overall, the game is incredibly good. But that's a weird decision. So you can see I'm not a fan of that decision, even slightly. I think that's a really terrible decision. So I'm going to wait until this is closer before I give that away. So I'm glad I saw that because yeah, that really is for me a big problem. So I will pass that on. Just give the feedback because again we're being pushed into a way of playing, which I don't think is good. What I'll do is I'll have the winner get. Well, I'll go with Xenonauts 2. So we've got Xenonauts 2. I've got one of those keys to give away, which is always a great prize. And I'll make the last place. What have I got there? I've got Glorious Companions. I'll make that the so that's actually a game I haven't played for that for a little while now, but that's so I'll make that first and last. So I'll just put them out there and do a save. So with all the people there, so you just got to type win. We've only got 22 running in the actual race today. So at this point in time, unless you guys, unless more of you sort of jump in. So the winner, as I said before, is Xenonauts 2, and then Glorious Companions will be the if you come last. So let's go and see. So has everyone done it? I'm just trying to see. Did Seeking Matter did you put yours back in? Seeking Matter. I don't think you're in this. No, you Seeking Matter. You need to go and add yours in. Sorbical is saying too late, but you're actually in there. Yeah, Seeking Matter hasn't typed the win command in just yet. I will actually look if Seeking Matter got in just before I started doing it. So I will honour that one and just pop it in there unless it sort of gets added in. All right, so let's. Oh, there we go. Seeking Matter's now in there. Great. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go in and copy these. Copy eligible entries. Yep, so you said win at the start. I hadn't set it up when you actually said win. I was still in the process. So I saw your text. Sorry, I saw your message go in there, but it didn't actually capture it. So I copied all of those. We'll just go back up this way. You got in literally about a second before I had done it. Oops, cancel that one. All right. Yeah, said it too soon. Just literally a split second too soon. I saw it and then I saw it didn't actually take it. So we'll just go back up and find replace and replace all. Save. Okay, so that's our list, just 23. All right, marble time. And in we go. So just going to set it up in here. 23 there, that's good. Finish that one off. Let's go to random. I just want to make sure that I've got more than the 23 for the bots. That's fine. Yeah, actually I need to change this one to 23. So we sort of found that was not great otherwise. Grand Prix, here we go. We'll play 3 maps. And go 23. Bots. Autofill. All right, good luck everyone. Away we go. So a couple of short maps this time. Let's make sure it's all going to work. Here we are. Okay, good luck. And down the channels. It's not too dangerous at the moment. Are they popping things off? Nope. It's just purely a race at this stage. So it looks like Sorbicol is out in front. Coming straight through here. Your Sorbicol Day Flute. Oh, there we go. Z Drive is missed. Actually, Z Drive's still on the map. Z Drive actually won. I thought you were going to lose there. That's interesting. Geyser Zone, bang, straight through. And Day Flute coming down the... Day Flute actually made it into second. Geyser Zone third. It's an interesting finish here. Sorbicol has come through. Tiger Russ is not going to make it. Maladroit is the next one through. Tiger Russ coming back in. Rocklight, Bajink, and then Blue Wolverine and Seeking Matter got the extra 10 points there. Everyone else will be on lowish numbers. No one's actually fallen off yet, which if you could fall off here, it would be ideal for you to get the last place. So Grizz is the last one into the final one there. Okay, that's cool. Look at the final results. Just go back across to the Grand Prix. So we've got 20 points there for Z Drive. Sorbicol on 10, Seeking Matter on 10, but we've got 15 and 12 in through there as well. Next map. All right, Catastrophic. Oh, this sounds pretty bad. All right, away we go. This doesn't sound like an easy one. Looks like there'll be a lot of carnage here, I think. A good one for you to get the last place. Z Drive doing well again, just coming through. So we've got a cannon there. Not sure how far that cannon shoots. Everyone's together on the loop. All right, so we've got Asir, we've got Mad Hat Raven Desk. In different ways. No one's gone up to the cannon. Coming through. Some of these I think will be will pop things off the top. No, they're not. Oh, there goes Blue Wolverine, first one out. Maladroit is doing okay. The others, actually, some of them are now coming through the cannon and sort of moving ahead. So Maladroit is now out in front. Mad Hat Raven Desk down the bottom, with some other interaction coming up. Oh, there goes Tiny Mutant Squid. As long as not too many of you finish like getting killed, it means that you could be in the running for the last place. Get a prize there as well. Just going to zip off. Okay, Maladroit coming through here now. And Seeking Matter and Hugh David. Straight into the loop. Oops, Hugh David didn't make it. Cygnus didn't make it. Gris is making it through. No, Is Gris? No, Gris is now in the lead somewhere. Where's the others? Getting close now. Just go back to the to the sort of leader group and just sort of see where we end up. So Maladroit is technically in the front. I think Guy Bellaby has now fallen off as well. There goes Justin Kipper, just taking the lead here a little bit. It's going to be close to the end. Rocklight is now technically in the front. Grob has fallen off. That's the finish line right there. Who's going to make it? Rocklight or Justin or Maladroit? Oh, here we go. I think it's going to be Aesir or Rocklight. Rocklight, bang, straight through. Aesir second. Maladroit and Seeking Meta. Justin, Ulrich, Dave Flute. So, yeah, there's the finish line there. So we can sort of see there that we've got the Geezer Zone. Actually, Dave Flute is slightly ahead now. No, it got caught up. Geezer Zone will come through. Take that one. Mad Hat Raven Desk will make it through. Unfortunately, Dave has been caught up in the loop there. Serenity coming straight through. And Sorbicol. So Serenity's going to get the next points. Or Grizz. No, it's CB, then Grizz. Oh, there's other people coming up this way as well. Well, Z Drive has fallen right back, so that's going to sort of close the gaps now. And Dave, the last, no, Bajink, this will probably be the last one there. Actually, Thor's still actually moving around on the map. There we go. Got wiped out. So a lot didn't make it in that one. If we look at the final results and then go back to the Grand Prix. So only 21 points there for Z Drive. So at 21, we've got 16, we've got 18 there for Geezer Zone. We've got 20 there for Maladroit, 26 for Rocklight, 20 for Seeking Meta. So this could be anyone's game. No one will have 0, but a few of you will just be on 1. So that could be fairly interesting what we sort of see through there. All right, let's go to the final map for the winner and the loser. And of course, we'll have playoffs if we need to. All right. Good luck, everyone. Good luck. Here we go. So we'll just get started. Just watch these as they go through. Okay, down the loop. Follow them along. This is a short map too, I think. I think this one moves pretty fast. Looks like a pretty safe map overall. Let's have a bit of a look and see. Is there any danger coming up? Doesn't look like it. That's the finish line there. So we'll just watch as they sort of come close to the cannon. So we'll sort of, I don't think anyone's going to fall off this one. So Aesir is doing well here again. So this will be very, very good points here. Guy Bellaby, I think, is slightly out in front. Here we go. So Guy is probably going to be the winner here. Seeking Meta coming next. Bang, there we go. Guy Bellaby, Seeking Meta, Grob, Hugh David, Thor, Ulrich. Aesir got the 10 points. That may be enough to win this, I think. So we'll see how we go. So, yeah, no one's actually fallen off as such. And is that everyone? Nope. Yes, there we go. So we've got, so Guy Bellaby won that one. Let's go and look at the final results. And we'll just go straight to finish off the Grand Prix and just sort of see where the points ended up. What was the loser game again? It is Glorious Companions. Is sort of like a combat game similar to what we looked at there with the other one I just sort of showed before. What was it called? My mind's gone blank with this one. Anyway, in third place we have Aesir. I actually thought Aesir was going to win this one. Then we have Rocklight, who was the leader. So somebody else has come through. The winner at this stage, we'll do a count back and just see if there's any sort of playoff that needs to happen, is Seeking Meta. There we go. Congratulations. So just as well, I did actually remind you that you needed to actually go in and put your put your win in there, because at this stage you're the winner. Let's go and have a look and see who the winner is. Yeah, you won 35 points, so congratulations. Rocklight on 31 points. We'll probably have to have a playoff for last place. We'll just have a bit of a look. So, and our Seer, funny, I really thought you'd be a lot closer than that. So anyway, that's the list. Z-Drive only really made 2 more points since the first one. But congratulations there, Seeking Matter. Right, let's scroll down. Actually, yeah, we've got a playoff between Tiny Mutant Squid and Cygnus for last place. So this is the playoff for Glorious Companions, and then we've got the Xenonauts 2 is the one that we actually have as the first place. So Xenonauts 2 for Seeking Matter, and so we'll now go and do the playoff. Tiny Mutant Squid and Cygnus. All right, so back to the main menu. Race. Let's do a random. Bots will be 2. Actually, what I do need to do is to go back in and correct these. Who was it? It was Cygnus and Tiny Mutant Squid. That's it, I think. Let me know if I've got that wrong, but I'm pretty sure they were the 2 at the back end there. So we'll finish off that one. And so, we'll see how we go with this one. We'll just go and do a random and have the playoff. Now, of course, if you both end up dying, whoever is the last one to die ends up being the winner. And so we are trying to now play as the winner. Seeking Matter saying that was my first win that wasn't being the biggest loser. Oh, here we go. So we get ready to start. Off they go. So the early leader is Tiny Mutant Squid. That one out in front there is nothing. I don't know what that is. Where's that alien? No idea. All right, Tiny Mutant Squid out in front of Cygnus. Oh, there's the ship. This is danger here. Someone can be thrown off the map. Oh, gee, that was lucky, Cygnus. That was lucky. Tiny Mutant Squid still out in front. Cygnus coming in behind. Going to come through into the forest area now. Does. Looks good though. Okay, Tiny Mutant Squid still out in front here. Fair way out in front. And getting down to these areas. Straight through. And then straight through here. There's the finish line. It still could end up where you fail as you sort of hit the bottom here. You're almost coming second is probably not a bad thing to be honest. Because even if you both fail, and as long as you're not the first one to die, you're actually okay. We've got another danger zone here as well. So Cygnus is also just following Tiny Mutant Squid around. A fair bit of a gap now has opened up. Will one of you be thrown off here? No, Tiny Mutant Squid straight through. Cygnus is straight through. Here we go. Will Tiny Mutant Squid make it? Yes, he does. Okay, so Tiny Mutant Squid is the winner of the losers portion there for Glorious Companions. So, guys, if I can get Seeking Matter and Tiny Mutant Squid to contact me at daz@daztactic.com. I'll just type that in the chat. If you can shoot me an email, please, I can then get the key out to you. So, well done, guys! Congratulations. So, Tiny Mutant Squid is the winner of the losers. So anyway, that was pretty cool. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and Okay, so Seeking Meta has emailed me. Great, I'll get that key straight out to you. And so if you can do the same thing for me as well, Tiny Mutant Squid, that'd be awesome. All right, guys, going to leave it there. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you next week if you're here for ChatTactic. Otherwise, I'll be streaming pretty regularly through this week. I think I'll be playing Gal Civ tomorrow, and then still going on with the Distant Worlds run that I'm doing has actually become really, really quite exciting now. So we're sort of in the final stages of the big attacks now into the home worlds, which should be interesting. Should be a pretty interesting session for Distant Worlds. Anyway, I'll